Hello, I'm MC Toon, the worst rapper in the world. QE, Quantum Eraser, demanded a debate. Now, he wanted to do it on the 24/7 Discord server, but I had a previous invitation that he ran from that I'm gonna show you. It's pretty funny. So he's not here at this point. So yeah. So I had some dinner earlier. QE will not show up, says Justin Franks, but then later tried to twist it into MC Toon being the one who ran away from a debate. My guess is he's actually sitting on the 24/7 server right now, claiming victory already. So I will show you though what the deal is and how the history of this. So while I'm waiting for him to probably not show up, so I do have an invitation to LemonBird. Give a little more time to QE. And QE is on Discord right now. I can see his activity thing there. So let's get this one here. So a couple weeks ago, I did a video and designing Hawaii. Oh, it's kind of covered up there. Designing Hawaii challenge wrote this. He said, "Debate Quantum Eraser. Bet you won't." I immediately replied, "I have an opening June 9 at 8 p.m. Central on my server. Let him know." So I wasn't delayed at all or avoiding him at all. And then I said, "Bet he won't." Turns out, yep, that anyway, then right away after to designing Hawaii, I said, "You debate me, bet you won't." And this is great. Designing Hawaii says, "Not only will we both debate you, but you and your religion will be obliterated, and you will give us great content. Sign us up." So June 9th, Designing Hawaii had confirmed that Quantum Eraser was going to be on my channel for June 9th. So super, you're on the calendar. So I put it on the calendar. You can go there now. I removed it because of what just happened. So mctoon.net/calendar. Then I said, be sure to have QE confirm. See the video description of my website for contact info. And then here we get the message from Quantum Eraser through Designing Hawaii. $1,000 in my PayPal from MC Toon. I don't do retards for free. Very, very polite of him. Once the $1,000 is in my account, I'll send him the debate format. It's a take it or leave it. Good, thanks, Huey. Actually, I had already accepted the debate. And so, anyway, I finished that with, as I said, bet he won't. And he won't. So there it is. Designing Hawaii challenged me on QE's behalf, accepted the debate on QE's behalf, declared that he and QE together would destroy me. And then they ran. Designing Hawaii has not responded to that interaction since. Why is that, Designing Hawaii? What happened? Why did you run away? In fact, a week and a half ago, maybe, I commented again on that, asking Designing Hawaii, what happened? How come you won't debate me if your, hero, QE, would maybe Designing Hawaii do it? No response. No response at all. Don't know why. Why would that be? Anyway, so then last week, if you recall, I debated Bev. And it was more the main surveyor that crushed Bev. Poor Bev. Almost feel sorry for him, but not really. So, so Quantum Eraser apparently didn't like that particular debate, and so he sent me a message here last week, shortly after that debate happened, and here it is right here in Discord, the very first communication that I've received from Quantum Eraser on Discord. Or anywhere. Well, he's commented to me before on a Sleeping Warriors video, and it's been blocked. I think Sleeping Warrior blocked QE. I don't know. I can't find it anymore, but I have the link to the video and the actual comment from him. But anyway, so here he says, Quantum Eraser to me, the very polite and kind Quantum Eraser says, MC Toon, are you some kind of dumb F pretender clown retard? Oh, well, there you go. Certainly that type of talk is going to show people that your opinion of the shape of the earth is correct. I'm watching you and you're so rude. Your F-wit smirks during the conversation on your video with Bev. You think that means something? Space question marks question mark. His punctuation is very flurf. You better stay in your little echo chamber, Mr. Magoo. If I catch you outside of it, I'm going to leave you with that just pump the neighbor's cat look on your face. I don't know what that is, but I don't think so. Same goes for Mr. Main Surveyor 88. Level is curved more. And of course, level is curved. That is the definition of it. It's been the definition for centuries. QE, if you disagree, all you need to do is provide measurements that to the contrary, which you won't, I know. Bev is talking without knowing what he's talking about, eh? Yes. That's the title of your autobiography. Space, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. That might even be two spaces there. Then you bring in Mr. George, closed thermos in an open system bozo of epic proportions. George's toenail clippings have more intelligence, I think, than QE. So, it's a quote from Heartbreak Ridge, says historical philosopher. Of course, that's lost on me. I don't know Heartbreak Ridge. So, there you go. Then he goes on. Let me ask you something. Do you actually think you're in some way cloaked and nobody can see that you're a clinical level Dunning-Kruger numpty dip? Really? Such harsh language there from you, QE. Cloaked. I don't think I'm cloaked. I think I'm just standing out here clearly declaring that the Earth is a sphere and there's measurements of it, and there are no measurements of flat Earth. None at all. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Whatever you think is going on, I'd say you have, since you don't have anything, you're the one in trouble here. Anyway, so if so, we can add delusional to your clinical level Dunning-Kruger numpty stuff. So, again, you got nothing. All right, so time to cowboy up, McMoron, and bring your dumbass into the Arena 24/7 Flat Earth Discord, and let's get to cases. I don't know what that means either. Maybe it's from another movie. Space, and then 4 exclamation points. And then he says, I see you're already a member in Gladiator. Yes, I am on that server. DM at Miggy, and he'll set you up 1v1. Just me and you, clown. Okay. So here's the deal. I've been on the 24/7 Discord server. It is a hive of I'm gonna mess up the quote. Vile and I'm gonna have to look it up. Hold on. It would have been better. Hive. It's a hive. Oh my goodness, people. Is QE the guy who claims he figured out the double slit experiment? Hence his name. I don't know. I don't actually know why he uses that name. There it is. The 24/7 Discord server. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious. So I've been there before. It is a hive of scum and villainy. So no, I'm not interested in a debate there. Now, if he wanted to do something on a a neutral place with a strong moderator, I would be interested in that potentially. So anyway, so I play with him a little bit. I'll get ready to reap the whirlwind, more insults, and he signs it, Quantum Eraser. I say, who are you? I'm just messing with him. Yeah, right, you better just move along, Crayon Muncher. So there he comes with the Crayon Muncher. So, I remember you, big fan, love your channel, and a link to Quantum Degreaser. So if you're not a fan of Quantum Degreaser, I think you should be, because Quantum Degreaser is way better than Quantum Eraser. The link is in the chat, and I'm going to put it right now into the description, because Quantum Degreaser is fantastic. So there we go. You hear me typing? Quantum. There it is. So if you're watching this later, you can find Quantum Degreaser in the description. Robert Williams for $2 asked QE to give an example of an imaginary number. Ooh, he doesn't know imaginary numbers. No surprise there. So anyway, so I give him a link to the Quantum Degreaser channel. He says, asks if I'm retarded. I'm not. So, because I'm not a flat earther. So I invite him to my Discord server, which he doesn't accept. I don't know why. Then he says, yes, you're a baltard, spinning space monkey, religious zealot. Of course, that's how science is done, isn't it? Additionally, you have delusional clinical level, Dunning-Kruger, numpty, whatever. So, yep, get with Miggy, set up the 1v1. I'll demonstrate in spades clown. K space question mark. Why the space before it? I don't know that. So I go, oh, you're the other one. I remember you. And then this screenshot here, I'll show you in a minute. That's the one from Designing Hawaii. I sent him a screenshot of the conversation with Designing Hawaii, where QE hid behind the demanding $1,000 thing. So said, you already chickened out. You're 4 months late. Also, your faithful acolyte ran off his mouth and scampered off too. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central. That's right now. I'll send a Zoom link. I already have. He says, am I Designing Hawaii, moron? Goodness, you're even dumber than I first thought. That's it. And then he doesn't like my Zoom link. He already declared he wasn't going to come. So he wants me to get in the arena. Nah. So here's what I did. I pretended that he said he was Designing Hawaii. So just to mess with him, because I love messing with him. So, so you ran from your own debate challenge, as if he said it. Not through your faithful acolyte. Even worse, I pity you. Also, Designing Hawaii spoke about both of you. Have you had that multiple personality disorder professionally diagnosed yet? Am I a little smarmy? Yes. So here it is. Again, you debate me, bet you won't. And there it is. Asks if he needs a referral to a psychologist. Could help him. So, more insults. My parents must be prouder than Game Rooster. My parents are quite proud of me. They know they do this, and they're like, why would you debate flat earthers? That's dumb. The earth isn't flat. I'm like, hey, it's fun. We kind of laugh at them every day. So anyway, more insults. That's all he has. So if the shape of the earth was determined through insults, he would have determined it already. So strange you call me coward when you ran from the challenge you issued, as if he is Designing Hawaii. Anyway, be sure you and your second personality are ready on Tuesday. So, which personality is speaking? You ready for tomorrow? Get your hair and wardrobe figured out. Also, did you figure out what you will be presenting? Make sure it's good, better than your usual stuff, please. I'm like, I hope I didn't frighten you too much. The silence concerns me. You're feeling a little anxiety. These are trying times. Find your safe space. Are you prepared? And prepare yourself for tomorrow. Get your camera working. People want to see the moment when your forehead vein bursts. And then it's just piss off. What's up, Kiwi? Are you scampering off from the debate challenge you issued, or was it one of your other personalities that issued the challenge? What's the name of the personality that issues challenges, and what's the name of the personality that runs from these same challenges? So there's the Zoom link. I sent him, and nothing there. So don't worry if you are seeing that. I will be closing that Zoom here in a second here. So so anyway, I will here we go. So 15 minutes in, I'm taking it that he is, wrong thing. I'm taking it that he's not coming. Yeah. So LemonBird says he's probably getting freshened up. So there it is. Cretan Bull for $5 says, I'm not disappointed by Kiwi's cowardice. The thought of listening to his stupid arrogance for the next few hours doesn't appeal. Correct. So anyway, that was the overview. Now, if you are unfamiliar with Quantum Eraser, he is one of Oakley's fanboys, and he's kind of raised himself up in the Oakley totem pole of fanboy-ish. I don't know. So he's a little bit of a sidekick to Oakley now, and it's fitting because they're both exceptionally rude. And as I said, if being rude determine the shape of the Earth, then it is whatever they think it is. But that's not how it works. It's actually a little harder than that. You actually have to go and measure it, which he doesn't have. So one of the things that I know Kiwi likes to do, of course, is he is the one that pushes the black swan, as he calls it, which of course is completely predicted on a globe Earth. But the opposite of that, the normal conditions, are never predicted on a flat Earth. So, oh my goodness. So he kind of lost at that one. So if he brings up Black Swan, he's done. All right. Punchy says, can you eat a chip for the time being? Oh, jeez. Why? March 12, we got these here. Punchy brought them to me. So all right. There we go. It's 2 of them or 3 of them. I don't know. So here you go. They're about half crunchy. The crunchiness is... That's hard to do. Much harder than it was a month ago. Wow. Yum. I got something to wash it down here. So Schrodinger's cat says Kiwi will not debate. He's a coward. He is, yeah. All right. I'm going to... Some cheese left over from Mr. Sensible. Little summer sausage. All right. Ketchup crisps. Yes. Ketchup chips, we call them here. All right. Down with them, with the chips. Oh, gross. I don't know. I might have to cut it off. That's pretty bad now. So he talks about the I won't even go into it. It's been addressed so many times. It is predicted. What you need to do is you need to find something that's not predicted on the globe. And what Quantum Eraser did is he found the web page written by Dr. Andrew Young from San Diego State University that talks about the geometric prediction for what would be the distance to the horizon, right? Which is at the top, like third or quarter of the page, and then ignores the bottom 2/3 or 3/4, whatever, of the page that says, then we need to calculate in the effects of refraction. He just ignores that because it doesn't fit his conclusion, so he ignores it. So there we go. Easy. So I actually created a series of videos. I have 6 of them out so far called Flat Earth Black Swan, or just FEBS. And number 1 is the other version of it. You know, the horizon, if the Earth were flat, nothing would ever be beyond the horizon. So all you need is to find a picture of something beyond the horizon, and you disprove flat Earth. So I used a picture from the same guy that did Black Swan, which apparently is, I think I heard Dr. John, doctor in quotes, because he's not a doctor. Anyway, same, and of the horizon being in front of the oil platform. So there you go. I wonder who is left from the FE old guard who will enter debate. Only loony and idiots left. Yeah, so like Bob won't. Bob Nodell. Eric Dubay won't. Dearth won't. Jeranism won't. Who else? Who else is in there? In the old guard, right? I don't know. Rob Skiba won't. I challenge him. He won't. Robbie Davidson. And not only did he personally have me kicked out of the Flat Earth Convention, FlatCon, I'm blocked on his channel. So, yep. Let's see. I don't know. The old guard. Yeah. Dr. John. Let's see. Jayacito says, Dr. John, is that the Hmong I heard hash up spectroscopy in such a ridiculous manner I atomic face palmed? So apparently Dr. John was behind the FE Core Lake Balaton observation, which of course was horribly done. The treatment of how refraction happens was wrong. So if he is a doctor of anything doing with light, well, then he's not a doctor of anything doing with light, because he wouldn't have messed that up, right? But definitely messed that up. That guy deleted his channel. He did that like a year ago almost. Yeah, I don't know. Who else? Who did I not list there? Nathan Thompson. Nathan Thompson is not really old guard, is he? Hey Zap, stop man. MC Toon is totally against the mute button. Who's Zap? Zep Tepe. Zep Tepe. QE will only debate when he gets to dictate the conversation with the mute button or a moderator on his side for when he's cornered. Yeah, absolutely. That is why he won't do it outside of the 24/7 Discord server. So anyway, and LemonBird is not currently online, even though I sent him an invite. So I don't know what's up with that. Seems Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. He's not really old guard. Oh, Mark Sargent. Mark Sargent has debated, but only people that were unprepared, not actual debunkers. Hellboy says Mark Sargent is my hero. Yeah, Mark Sargent is old school, and what if I called him? What if I called Mark Sargent? I mean, he posts his number on his channel, so I could do that. So let's find Mark Sargent's phone number. I'm going to make sure it's still on his channel. Yeah, Eric Dubay, Booleanator says Eric Dubay. Yes, of course, Eric Dubay. Simon Dan did 3 videos on him, challenging Eric Dubay to debate me. And silence from Eric Dubay. So let's see, Mark Sargent, here he is. He has his phone number right on there. Should I call him? I should. All right, I'm gonna have to change this here, make sure I get Skype going, because I'll come on Skype. Turn that on. Fire up Skype. I'll have to do that. So here is where's Skype. Get my earbuds going here. Now I did briefly meet Mark in Dallas, and just like in passing, and Team Skeptic actually like had an interview with him. Mark is a nice guy. I'll give him that. He's certainly. I leaned over, is messaging me. I'm in a live stream. maybe Eileen will pop in. Her son flipped over. And her brother is Ben. So there you go. So all right, I've got Skype going. Let's see. I'm gonna have to bring this up, and here we go. Nope, not that. Bring up the dialy dealy whopper, and let's see. There it is. Good old Mark Sargent. I'm betting he's not going to answer. What do you think? Bets on whether he's going to be answering? Anybody? I've had some. I mean, I got CC on, but that was it. There it is. I mean, you can find it. It's on his channel, but he even puts his address, his home address. I mean, is his mom's home address. But let's see. I want to make sure I get the audio. So do this. Microphone, yeah, that works. And speakers. Let's test the speaker. No good. I hear it, but you don't. So just a second. That's the wrong one. Wasn't hearing it, so that's a problem I need to fix. This loop back I gotta figure out still gotta figure it out. There it is. Okay, how do I stop it from testing? There it is. Good. Okay, all right, we're all good. We're all good. So here it is. I bring it up again. It lost the number. I got to type it in again. So there. What do I say to him, huh? What should I say to him? It's ringing.
You've reached Mark Sargent at 303-494-6631. Leave me a message or email me at msargent23@comcast.net. That's MSARGENT23@comcast.net.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello there, Mark Sargent. This is MC Toon. We briefly met in Dallas last year, and anyway, I'm doing a live stream right now, so people are hearing this live, and the person that was supposed to debate me did not show, and so the question came up: who of the old guard flat earthers will debate anymore? And we generally we can't think of any. We want, Dubé, Bob Nodell, Skiba, Davidson, Jeranism, Dearth. And they're like, hey, Sargent. Well, I'm like, I think he puts his phone number on the website. So anyway, just calling to say, hey, can we set up a debate? I'll send you an email, but my email address is mctoon@mctoon.net. And let's do this, man. You can live stream on your side. I'll live stream on my side. It'll be great. So, all right. We'll catch you later, Mark. There it is. So, chances that he'll call me back. Well, he can't call me back. So, audio's off. Did you not hear me? It says, like, my thing is going. Do you not? It's out of sync, not off. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I still have to... Still goofy here. That's my, yeah. I don't know how to what to do. Is volume low for anyone else? They're saying it could be. You know what? I will I'll do this. Live stream to OBS. Take that out. There. Can you hear me better? Probably not. I have it cranked. That's the problem. It's all the way to the top. So, oh man. So Observer says it's fine. King Crew says it's super low. Mark sent malware to affect your speaker during that phone message. I don't think Mark is up on malware. So let's see if I can do a couple things here. Turn off. So it's there's only so much I can do. Microphone is my microphone right here, right? My blue snowball. So Earthrise says volume is at like 1. Went low after your call, was fine before. That's weird. I don't know what that did, how it changed. Because I routed it so that it would go to I'll just turn it all off here. I don't really need any. So, anything there? Could be that. So, I don't know. That's really weird. I don't know how to fix that in the middle now. So, sorry. Volume was okay when you left your Skype message, but now it's dropped. You know what Mark Sargent does? He does this. Hi, I'm Mark Sargent. How are you doing? I like the microphone. Am I loud enough now? Not going to do that. I'm sorry. Turn it off and back on again. Yes, of course. But you know what? Here we go. Anything? And I see that you're hearing that something's going out. But like it's not picking it up. Delete your System32 file. That'll fix it. I'm on a Mac. I don't have a System32 file. Alt F4 won't do it. Well, I don't know what is wrong. Well, here. I can do this. Check. I'm eating. You probably don't want to hear that. Let's see if I can do this where I have it pick it up from live stream to OBS. And then I can add as a source my microphone. But then I hear me, and I don't want to hear me, but I can turn that off. There we go. Now, can you hear me better? Is this any better? I can. It's at the top. So I have the volume at the top here, volume at the top there. So I don't know. I'm not going to do sudo rm-rf/ there. I do know very well what that does. So it started to go, yeah, so I'll quit Skype. See if that shouldn't probably do anything, but I don't know. I can have both. I can have like I'm sure it's a delay or something. both the mic and the second one. Do I sound funny now? Turn that off. So, anyway, I got nothing from LemonBird and nothing from Quantum Eraser. So, there it is. Gary Wybenga. Okay, I'm just about to Madeira. That's the first time I've seen Gary Wybenga not do something that looked like a copy-paste. Whatever happened to Joey Rocha? Joey, I have asked multiple times, but he's like, I'm gonna do this. He's super bad at communication. So, Jack saying it's the same. People are saying you're quiet or trolling you. Please. Anyway, so I've tried to get Rocha to come back, but he just won't. So, he says things. He'll comment on something on Facebook, and I'll say, "Yeah, let's do it this day," and then he never responds to it. So, are there any atheistic flat earthers? Is that a thing? There are. Flat Out Hero. The Infinite Plane Society. That would be the Tim Osman Infinite Plane Society. I believe he is. You've got Daniel Falkenbach, who is, he goes by Flat Earth Subgenius. He, I believe, is, or at least isn't kind of the typical Christian flat earther. I think Dearth and Jaron are not really all that Christian-y. They kind of... I'm still getting... Mark Beiser says, I am super quiet. Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna have to deal with it. Sorry. Because I don't know why it could have just been something happened and it won't go back. I don't know. Maybe if I quit that. Ooh, something came up, but I see that my audio's no better. Phone CC, and if he doesn't answer, just say in a Scottish accent, well, hold on. If that isn't no, I'm not going to say that to him. It's a little better, but not great. Yeah, so I have to have the microphone right up here. So why are you hearing a TV that's like 100 yards away? Yeah, and it went quiet when I used Skype. This is the same mic I've had. I only have one mic. Actually, I have two of the same mic. I have a second one that's identical. So isn't that orange light the limiter? It is not the limiter. It means that it's on, so it's actually always on. So, call CC and play an editable audio of Dell talking. Will confuse the hell out of him. Oh, dear. Shall we build the ISS behind you now that there's no one left to debate? That's a good idea. I mean, Punchy and I were going to do that, so... What do you think, Punchy? What do you think? So let me check again on nothing from LemonBird. He was sure that what's his name would show, but QE. I'll message QE. I gotta put my mic down. Let's see. Didn't think you'd make it. Didn't think you had the guts to show. I was right. So, and there it is. Mad respect for the flow. You got hella hair, brother. The spikes are real. Thanks, Tom. I guess. Can I prove Simon Dan's legs aren't CGI? They are not CGI. They are NASA robotic legs. He's a cyborg. So, didn't you know that, I guess? Yeah, so CC's been phoned up twice, once by me, once by, I think, FTFE and Team Skeptic. And all that he wants to do is talk to Sidan, as he says it, Sidan. So, yeah. The position that QE takes, we can talk about that. The position QE takes is basically denialism. That's all he has. So I've said in the past, flat Earth is a religion for uneducated science deniers. And so QE is all about denying science. So what he does is he cherry picks things that he finds. Often they're like, some of his quotes are even like elementary or junior high science fair instructions for, giving children instructions on how to do the scientific method, right? Give them step by step, because you need to when they're young like that. They don't understand it. So, so he uses that kind of stuff, or like he's used things like political science notes from a political science class on how to do science, and it's not rigorous science. It's not hard science like physics and stuff like that. And then uses it and then says, this is the only way to do it. You must have an independent and a dependent variable, or it's not an experiment. Not really. That's not actually it. And then he lists off, he's like, it must follow the scientific method, or it's pseudo-science. That's a little more Sleeping Warriors tactic, but QE gets into that as well. And then he'll go on and on about, I can read this one here. Hold on. That he sent to me as a response to something. So I got to find it here. It's good to really see his tactic of how to attempt to deny science in order to support his position. So let's see here. Make this a little. So, I had commented on one of Sleeping Warrior's videos, anyway, where he said gravity doesn't exist, and I said, interesting claim, gravity doesn't exist. And QE responds, isn't it? Do you claim it does? Space question mark. That's this thing. If so, one, which gravity, Einsteinian or Newtonian? Both or either at the same time if you want. Then, is gravity a force? Ooh, I do see that my network dropped a little bit. Is gravity a force? It certainly is a force. But they like to split hairs here, and they don't even understand what they're splitting. So is gravity a scientific law? Yes. Or a scientific theory? Yes. What is the cause of gravity? Bending space-time. Scientifically validate gravity. It's been done. What natural phenomenon was observed? The attraction of mass to mass. How is that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Big Daddy Sheep NZ, can we show the video of the stream about the Flurfs drinking urine? Yes, I'll do that in a minute. Ugh, so I watched the whole thing. They're just gross. Anyway, post the formal scientific hypothesis. Right? It's been done. Centuries ago. Then experiment that validates your claim. So here's the deal. There are many times that people have put large masses on torsion balances, right? And when you do that, you introduce a new mass, the heavy mass, it twists it. There you go. Done. So it's already been done. And then he's like, highlight the independent and dependent variable. So here's how you know somebody doesn't understand science. They say, what's the independent and dependent variable? That's how you know they don't know science but think they do, right? So yeah, that's not how it actually works. That's not how like peer review works, where like one reviewer's like, where's the independent variable? That's not how they do it, right? If there's a problem with the methodology for real, then they'll highlight that. And they also don't call them numpties and insult them, and Anyway, But there are independent and dependent variables. So when you introduce the weight, right, you have your torsion balance, you introduce the weight. That is the independent variable that you introduce that, whether it's there or not. So there it is. Pulse the null hypothesis. Not a requirement, but you can. That was rejected, falsified. We'll wait. So anyway, he thinks that that is the way to do it. And he thinks because he can go through this kind of dogma version that he has constructed, that it, I don't know, you can use it to falsify things or just reject things. So everybody keeps coming in saying my volume is super low. I know, I'm sorry. Anyway, then how do you explain the, so then I said, then how do you explain to this, sorry, this is me to, what's his name? Sleeping Warrior. How do you explain the 9.8 meters per second squared acceleration we measure all over the surface of the Earth? This is known, right? There isn't a question about this. To deny that is just religion, I guess. And he goes, it was a WTF. Why would I need to? Well, of course you need to. I'm not even talking to Quantum Eraser, and he's jumping in. He goes, I never claimed anything whatsoever to do with 9.8 meters per second acceleration. You don't need to, Quantum Eraser. It is there, right? Gravity exists. It is the 9.8 per second, meters per second downward acceleration is the result, right? It is gravity at work. So if you're going to say that gravity doesn't exist, you need to explain that downward acceleration. You can't just hand wave it away and pretend it doesn't happen. So he says, tell us, Crayon Muncher, do you wander around aimlessly asking complete strangers to explain things about subjects for which they never made claims for? Again, I don't need to. You need to provide explanations. Personal question, are you insane? So yes, typical. All he has is insults. More insults, I won't reply or read off, mindless parrot, whatever. 2, if you have an explanation for a claim, then you provide it. I do, and I did. It's gravity. And the law of gravitational attraction explains it well. So, and what explanation we're going to need? Natural phenomenon observed, the formal scientific hypothesis, identify the independent, dependent variables, cite source, pulse the null, right? All the same stuff, like this dogma that he has, that if you don't follow the exact thing, then somehow he can dismiss. Then somehow that's how you can make gravity not exist, is by pointing out that you didn't follow the dogma that he thinks is science. And then he goes, the most common mistake in applying the scientific method is to mistake the hypothesis for an explanation of a phenomenon without performing experimental tests. And then he gives a quote, a link to a rochester.edu, which would not, actually, if you read it, doesn't work well for him. So anyway, that's about it. Oh, wait, hold on. He wants 20 significant digits. Oh, God. So this is before I came out with my gravity challenge, but I had already written it. So I wrote it, and then it sat for about a year before I actually released it. So I had mentioned it somewhere. So define scientific prediction. There are thousands of, so I said there are thousands of extremely accurate documented measurements which are publicly available. So then he goes, you might have an effect, validate the cause. So he's back to the cause is somehow like what you need to do, which isn't what you need to do. That's not actually how it works. So Quantum Eraser, Google, Berkeley, Understanding Science. Go ahead and start there. That's a fantastic resource to explain how science works. So I got a piss off retard from him. Oh, so sweet. So sweet. You think insults determine the shape of the earth? So, and nothing from LemonBird. Okay, well, all right. What was I going? Oh, yeah, I was going to show this video. So, all right, I'm going to have to redo my audio again. So, and maybe when I redo the audio, it'll fix everything. That'd be great. Got to jump in my Discord server to find that link. All right, so somebody sent along, oh, it's so gross, a video that was a private kind of, I don't know where it was from. Obviously, it was not that private because people found it. Oh, Gary Wybenga. Bob the Science Guy and Blue Marl Science both say, let's see what he says here, both say you have to steer a car to adjust for Coriolis when driving down the highway. Do you agree? I would ask for the citation for that. Gary Wybenga. Feel free to email me, Gary Wybenga, with your citations. mctune@mctune.net. You know, you've sent me an email before. So, all right, I will pull up this. The video of flat earthers talking about drinking their own. Ugh, why? Why? It's so dumb. Just dumb as dumb can be. So let's see if we got anything here. Oh yeah, I need to pull my mic out of that. There we go. And see if the audio is coming through. It's playing. I'm just checking the audio here before we get... Nope, not yet. Oh, that's weird. It's supposed to be... Oh, I know. Hold on.
Straight up piss. So you don't need the toilet anymore. Why? Because your body has reabsorbed all of what was contained in your...
Okay. I think you can hear it. Another for Q... Robert Williams for $2. Another for QE, difference of accuracy versus precision. Yeah, they don't. I mean, he can at least say the words... Right, most flat earthers don't even understand that there is such thing as a margin of error when you measure things. But all right, let's get. Oh, it's so gross. Why? Why would you think? Ugh. So here we go. Let's back it up here a little bit to Oakley and the pure logic, absolutely pure logic. You can't hear me at all, but you can.
Those minerals, the water, whatever it is that you need from that elixir of health, as it was described by Dave Weiss.
Elixir of health.
Transparency, subpar. Oh, that's just piss. That's just straight up piss.
So you don't need the toilet anymore. Why? Because your body has reabsorbed all of what was contained in your bladder that you would consider waste. Well, it's not waste, or your body would. There's no way it would reabsorb it.
Piss. No. Smell, urine, and damn it!
Your body is a distiller. I was
Absolutely.
thinking that too.
Urine is look at it as like blood. If you were going to pee out blood, you'd say, oh shit, I want to put that back in. I might need that. It's the same situation, except we have excess of urine.
No.
And it's also sanitary too.
Oh, it's the most sanitary thing, most antiseptic thing, antibacterial.
Caveman.
And isn't it just like flat Earth that it would be ridiculed? So it is ridiculed in a very similar way to flat Earth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's piss. I don't know why I have to drink it. It's piss. It's yellow.
How about you have some of your pee and heal yourself?
Results have not been promising. Edison, it took him like thousands of tries to find the right filament for a light bulb. And maybe we're being idiots, or maybe we're... Oh, that's piss!
I've heard a theory that the morning is so important because that urine you actually took with you to that ethereal realm, and it becomes charged by that.
Oh my gosh. All right. I did adjust my audio a little bit. It gets charged by the ethereal realm. Amazing. And it's apparently your body is distilling it. It's not actually distilling it. You know how you know that your body's not actually distilling it? Because it's not boiling in your body and then condensing in your body. That's how you distill things. Oh, people. So, all right, is the audio a little better? I turned the gain up. So, tell me, yeah. And it's like urine is like blood, and if you took blood out, then you'd want it back in. Like, no, it's not the same. You don't lose a half a gallon of blood every day. Oh. So, all right, sounds better. All right, I'll turn it up a little more. I don't want it to be clipping. That's the problem. So if I'm clipping, then you tell me. Yeah, if you pee blood, there's something worse going on. Oh, people. Oh, flat earthers they're just gullible, so gullible. They cannot think straight.
So it's kind of like you brought it back with you. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think well, first of all, after 3 a.m. constitutes morning pee. So if it's after 3 and you have a normal sleeping habit, then you're drinking your morning urine.
That's piss all the way down to the bottom.
I've never looked at it like that. That could very well be, because I guess there's just the same amount of proof there is for that as there is for whether or not that has an effect on it. But it is definitely the strongest, and it doesn't. The whole yuck factor, basically, if you can.
Yes, it's a yuck factor.
With the person who's talking about proof, nobody can give you proof. You can only.
Just so you know, that is Antonio who raped her.
Find proof yourself, because somebody can tell you that they know God or they know. It's only you that will find the proof. So what Haunted House just said is true.
Well, just see who drinks it. I'm not gonna drink it. I can stay here all fucking day. You drink it!
And then you'll be talking pee like we are.
Hey, Flat Earth has, and I'll say this over and over again, opened many people's eyes to looking and discovering for themselves. Now, if you want to use urine therapy as a perfect example of this,
it's not therapy.
Fine. It's just the same example. I'm going to use this example. It's the most apt time I've ever used it. It's the same piss in a different bottle. You've got Flat Earth. You've just got to go and have a look.
Flat Earth is piss. Yep, I agree. Rarely will I agree with Nathan Oakley, but I do now. Flat Earth is piss.
Little test, have a little dabble, have a little look for yourself. And it's the same with urine therapy. You can listen to people, water. You can research TB in the face, or you can have a little try. It's completely free.
And
no piss and vinegar, Nathan.
But there's one thing that we can all remember. We've all at some point been near a bum, a tramp, somebody who's homeless, sleeps on the streets, okay? And they smell of pee, and they're very old. And, hello, they're very old, and they smell of pee. I bet if you, in your 40s, end up on the streets, you wouldn't make it very long.
This is a sketch, by the way. This isn't real.
Oh shit! I didn't see it.
So maybe peeing is good for you.
I was talking about reptilians before this.
Right, exactly. Face on Mars. Flat Earth has changed all of our lives, and that's one of the topics for the show, although we haven't actually addressed it, but we've addressed it. And our minds are in different places now than they were a year or so ago.
Yeah.
Do we even have a machine? Or are we just pissing into this bottle?
And one last thing that'll a lot of people think it's like a glass you got to drink. You could get a dropper, like one of those liquid eyedropper things. Mm-hmm. And well, speaking of eyedroppers, you ever seen Maureen tears in the Murine tears? It's called. at
Oh,
the
yeah.
pharmacy.
Pharmacy stuff.
Take the M away. That's
Urine.
horse urine.
Wow. Yeah.
Your urea cream.
Right.
That's more cow urine, horse urine. A lot of the cosmetics people use have urine in them.
I've used urine for my eyes when I had an eye infection.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, they're like, there's urine in these products. They just say it, and somebody else said it, and they're just repeating what somebody else said. Go look it up. No. Look. Oh.
I also use colloidal silver as well to try to heal it.
Same, yeah. Colloidal silver is another one. All you need is like 4 drops under the tongue. If you can't stomach drinking it, sissy.
4 drops. No, that's
all you got to do is take a quick sip.
Well, the thing is, people, if you think of the dosage in your medication for your arthritis or whatever, it's micrograms, it's milligrams, it's tiny quantities.
Antonio's so stupid. I can't even listen to his dumb voice.
Hey, that's not bad.
Get a clean glass or something that you're going to, not plastic, or because there could be BPA's in it. Clean glass. Make sure it's rinsed well from any sort of soap residue. And then just, when you have to go to the bathroom, just go in there and pee a little bit in the toilet first. So it's clear. Put some in the glass. It doesn't have to be a lot. We all know what a shot glass looks like. You can start off with an eyedropper if you wish, taken from that shot glass, or you can just take the shot glass.
Like a glass of water that a friend pissed a little bit into.
Some people want to leave that urine out till it achieves room temperature because they feel that's better. Some people will just drink it while it's warm. Other people, that creeps them out.
Oh, that's a good. I did a video a year and a half ago on a flat earther that drank his own piss, and I'm like, in the comments, anybody have like, what do you think their favorite piss cocktails are? It's like, Long Island iced pea, or a whiz gimlet. So I got a few recipes. I thought it'd be funny to make a flat earther whiz cocktail book and put it on Amazon for print on demand. So anybody has any piss cocktail recipes, put them in this video, and I can get the other. We can make a book. It'll be great. The flat earthers will love it. So yeah, some people want it warm. Some people will have it room temperature. They want it neat. I would probably go on the rocks if somebody were to force me to do it. If I, yeah, she's worried about BPA's, but she's gonna drink human waste. And then you got the dingbat behind her, smoking. They're having a discussion about health, and he's smoking. So how? Yeah, step 1. Get rid of the really stupid bad stuff and then look at other things like, yeah. But I guess drinking pee is how much worse could it be than smoking? It's stuff you don't want in you.
I would suggest, this is kind of weird, when you first start, do it over a sink because you may have a gag reflex because in your mind you're thinking, I'm drinking pee, I'm drinking waste.
Yep.
We made water! Yep. Somebody give me a glass of piss, I want to celebrate!
We'll get over that. Allegedly, Dave said initially he would mix it with fruit juice until one day he realized he didn't have any fruit juice, and then he just started drinking it. And if you can do that once a day, try it. If you can only manage once a week, fine. If you're only going to be putting it on your skin, on a cut
don't put it on your skin.
An injury, go for that.
Even if you only do it once in your whole life, freaking try it. There's a reason why people are talking about it. What you can do as well is, in the shower, before you shampoo your hair, so you don't get drips of shampoo in it, pee into your hand and say to yourself, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to do this. And then you do it, and then you've done it, and you feel brave. Now, don't dance. You're in a shower, okay? You're going to fall.
Don't. Drinks piss. Right, we've heard that for someone in the public. I didn't know who he was. But he knows. Antonio drinks
Does Ginger's pee taste like sugar puffs?
man's piss. No, because I've just seen his video lately.
We're running out of time. I want to thank everybody for being here, and if you don't know who everyone here is, in the description box of this video there will be.
Oh, thank you, Patricia, for telling us about that. How that's terrible. Don't do that. Don't drink your pee. It's waste. It's not something your body wants. So, nothing from Lemon. Nothing at all from Lemon. So, they're waiting for me in the arena. Well, I'm waiting for him here. So, if he doesn't want to come. That's fine. I won't be. Was already on the 24/7 Discord server. I won't make that mistake twice. So, yeah, not even survival experts recommend drinking pee. They say you should, you should process it first. So, yeah, and I think that NASA guy that was in there was like, obviously it's a funny sketch, but on the space station, they do drink it, but they filter it and process it, so it's not got the waste stuff in there. You think about it, the when you drink water, that was dinosaur pee. So I have been in the arena. So, well, I don't know what the arena is. I've been on the 24/7 Discord server before for a live voice debate. I won't be fooled twice. It is a place where they lie to people about how they're going to treat you, and then they dump all over you. So, no, thank you. This is water, huge jars. So, anyway, yeah, doesn't urine dehydrate you? It probably does because it's got a lot of salt in it, doesn't it? I don't know. I've not, well, so I don't know who this Eliezer Torres is, but let me put up again the challenge so you can see it, since you're apparently in the stream here. Do you see this right here? Eliezer, designing Hawaii. This is 4 months ago. Said, debate quantum eraser, bet you won't. I immediately responded. I have an opening June 9th on my channel. And I said, bet he won't. And then I challenged Designing Hawaii. You debate me, bet you won't. Designing Hawaii then declares boldly, not only will we both debate you, but you and your religion will be obliterated and you will give us great content. Sign us up. Oh, that kind of went off the screen there. Let me sign us up right there. So I'm like, cool. You're on the calendar, June 9th. Be sure to have QE confirm. See the video description on my website for contact information. And then I get a message back from Designing Hawaii that where he is demanding payment to debate him. This seems like quite the coward move. I need to pay him. So Designing Hawaii was so certain that QE would debate me, that he boldly declared that they would do it. And then QE ran, demanded $1,000 just to debate. Who does that? That is pure cowardice. So, and of course, he includes some insults. So, which is apparently how he thinks the shape of the Earth is determined. So I said, bet he won't. Now this is getting cut off. Let's zoom that a little more. I said, bet he won't, and he won't. So there it is. Eliezer. No, I'm waiting for QE for free right here. He has the Zoom link. So there you go. I have sent him the Zoom link. No moderator at all. Just him embarrassing himself, yelling, screaming, insulting, presenting nothing at all as evidence for the shape of the Earth being flat as he imagines it is. So, and there he is in Discord once again. Let's see. Such a fine, upstanding individual that there's the Zoom link right there. Nothing. So Eliezer, you go tell him. 4 months ago, he ran away from a debate. Who wants to do it? Right here. He's very charitable. He's not charitable. Big Daddy Sheep NZ says, Kiwi coming on this stream is as likely as me drinking urine. Exactly. Now, Big Daddy Sheep NZ, would you go to the International Space Station? Because then you'd have to drink urine, wouldn't you? So let's see. What was I? Yeah, very charitable. So anyway, if someone pays for me, yes. So there you go, Big Daddy Sheep NZ. You would go to the space station, but probably it is more likely that you would get somebody to pay for you to go to the space station than for QE to show up here. That's probably true. Bob Nodell, the commercial pilot, showed up. I need to try this urine thing, he says. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I can't. Oh, so much charm in Quantum Eraser, and I am prepared. I have some open tabs. So, what Discord channel is that? That is a private message from Quantum Eraser. So, there you go. The most who is this Tom? He's way too complimentary to me. So he says that the most charming thing here is me. Thank you, but no. So Punchy's here, so I'll say Punchy is. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Ask QE to give an example of an imaginary number. Can I eat a chip? Another for QE difference of accuracy versus precision. Oh, there we go. Inside Indie Tiger for $5 said, Flurfs don't even realize they're making physics more complicated, not less complicated. Brian Peck, did QE show or provide an excuse from his doctor? He did not. He didn't. Maybe you could write him one, Brian, being a doctor. So no one is that nice to MC Dude. It's a sock. Tom F here is, he says, I'm a longtime fan. I've never seen him here before. So, oh, I'm blurry. The camera is still a little bit funky. It's not very bright in this room. But apparently if I get a little brightness, there we go, we should get some, it'll focus better. And I could change it to manual focus. Anyway, did he ever accept to debate me? He no. Not here, no. And I never accepted debating him on the 24/7 server. So I would never do that there. That is, I think you have to be really, you have to be gullible and not know the history of the 24/7 server in order to ever go there, because it is a disgusting place. The people there are quite awful and terrible. So yeah, it's a bait. Jose, so clickbait, got it. I'm out. Yeah, go ahead. But yeah, they bait people into going onto their server, and then they crap all over you. So yeah, Jose was a little angry. Yeah, QA is a disgusting human. That's another reason. He's quite horrible. He's quite a horrible person. So many insults, and at the same time, from what I've seen, he claims to be some sort of a religious person, and that doesn't seem to quite match. And I was talking with somebody else on Discord, he's on the 24/7 server, and he wanted me to come in. And I think he is a Christian, and he does not like QE, and so was quite upset about or not upset. He wanted QE to come in, but he's very mad at QE. Definitely dislikes him. And I think the reason is because this guy is a Christian. I'm just guessing here, and doesn't like that QE says he's a Christian. Maybe I could be wrong on that he says that, and treats people the way he does, because that's definitely not how it works. That's not how you would expect a Christian to treat people. So I sent an invitation to Jack Zong, so he may be popping in here soon, since QE is not coming, and neither is LemonBird. Let me remind you that hopefully Friday I'm going to be interviewing. It's going to be a nice interview. Massimo Fiorinelli. I'm sure that's wrong. He's the lead author of the paper that claims that 5G can have a two-way interaction with DNA. DNA. Oh my goodness, LemonBird just showed up. With DNA, and then construct coronavirus RNA somehow. So hold on, LemonBird. Just a second. LemonBird is coming in. So hold on, I gotta tell Jack. So all right, LemonBird. He can't hear me yet, and he doesn't go on screen ever that I've seen. So it will be the disembodied voice of LemonBird. Should this happen, if he gets his audio. So I cannot hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, he's still connecting to audio. So there it is. Getting messages from Jack still. I'll join in 10. Gotta help. Wow. Good for you, Jack. He's tutoring somebody. Gotta help somebody with some math there. So, all right, LemonBird, are you in yet? Still no. Jack Aceto says, I really want to talk to that guy. I've been working with the coronavirus since January, and I would love to chat with a professor who thinks it is okay to spread such nonsense. Jay, please send me an email or contact me on Discord. You'll find the stuff in the description. Lemon, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I think that people can hear you. So anyway, Jay Aceto, send me a message, and maybe we can get you on there. Well, Lemon, yeah, you had confidence that QE was going to show up, but he didn't. So, yeah, I mean, maybe
he was probably busy.
Yeah, he's been messaging me. He wants me to come on the 24/7 server, which would be silly. Who would be so gullible to go on the 24/7 Discord server if they knew what it was all about? So I won't. Anyway, so glad to have you here.
Come on, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, so I've been on there. I've been on their server and in the past, and I learned my lesson. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not getting fooled twice there. So there it is. All right, Lemon. So I know. So Stringer News 1 says I have another sound level problem. They can hear LemonBird. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that and also have a chat with LemonBird. So Lemon, I know that Jose challenged you to present evidence for the shape of the Earth without talking about the globe Earth, right? Just bringing positive evidence that stands alone. And I know you've done that a few times, but I never heard it. I heard rumors that you were doing it. So you must have gotten some experience now doing it. And so I wonder, can you Can you do that?
The best thing are breadcrumbs. Most of the flat Earth models have a firmament dome that's in the way, so you're not going to be able to see the whole thing, orthographically or whatever. At best, you'd see bits and pieces. That would probably lead you to believe it's a flat plane, like the fact that the horizon appears to rise toward eye level. That's not consistent with a ball, which would drop immediately and not rise toward the eye level of the observer. That's only consistent with a flat or flattish surface.
But hold on a second. Now we can. It's just a geometric question to start with on whether or not at how much the horizon should fall, right?
No. The moment that you peg out a horizon at sea level, it cannot rise from that point at all. If you rise up in elevation and the horizon rises to meet your eyes in any way, shape, or form, past that point, you can't be on a ball because that boundary that you got at sea level has been broken and it is not consistent with a ball boundary.
So all you need to do is have the horizon not rise to eye level, and then we're not on a ball, right? Is that your position? Oh, he's muted.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. All you have to do is just show that the horizon rises toward eye level past that first point, and you falsified the ball because that is no longer a hard boundary of a ball as the horizon at sea level. And if it's rising toward eye level past that point at all, it's only consistent with a flat plane. It's not consistent with a ball.
Okay, so then you have some measurements of this that you could maybe cite?
No, just long distance observations. There's a high altitude balloon footage from like 75,000, 100,000 feet, where the horizon still appears to rise toward the eye level of the camera and still appears to be flat and level. No side to side curvature, hardly past the
well, that's a different
distortion of the lens and
the left to right
over a flat plane.
The left to right's a different thing. Let's stick with just the one, just whether or not it rises. So, do you have any of these high elevation balloons where there's a measurement so you know where eye level is, right? Where the true level is, some sort of a device that's in the camera or somewhere so that we know where it is, and then so we can test to see if the horizon is at that point or not, if it's below.
As far as I can see, it's just the midpoint of the lens, but I haven't seen anything with any measurements.
Okay, so but the midpoint of the lens is only useful if you're very certain that the camera is pointed a certain way, right? Which on a balloon, it wobbles all around. You don't know when you are in the right spot in a balloon, right? Because if there's no measurement of that, right? If you had an accelerometer in it, maybe that was then and then putting on the screen a position where this is true level, right? But I've not seen any of those. I don't think you have any either, right?
No, it just looks flat and level. Looking at the balloon footage.
So the problem is that you don't have any measurements confirming that it did rise to eye level. Right?
It doesn't matter if it's rising toward the eye level of the camera at all. Past that initial point at ground level, globe debunked.
But how much should it drop if we're on a globe of size, about 4,000 mile radius? How much should it drop at 10,000 feet? At 100,000 feet? At 120,000 feet? Or at 35,000 feet? How much should it drop at those things? Because we can do the geometry to find out how much it should drop from level. Right?
To see how much drop you'd have from vertical at tangent to the ball starting out, you'd use that 8 inches per mile squared formula to approximate it, or the more accurate one, the radius of the Earth times 1 minus the cosine of how far you go along the surface times 360 over the circumference of the Earth. So that would give you 8 inches roughly per mile squared.
But how does that tell us the quantity of drop from level that we should expect, so we can test this?
You would expect 8 inches per mile squared of drop from level.
Yeah, but how does that present itself? How can we measure that from a camera or from a high elevation? What's our measurement tool that we could use to measure that?
We'd have to use optics, but optical geometry is very iffy because perspective makes parallel lines appear to converge, messing with your angles. So it's a bit of a pickle. It's best to use a laser like they did in the FE core laser test and see if the laser hits a hump of Earth curvature, or if it hits
that's a separate topic. Let's stick on this topic. Right. Let's stick on this pickle. So here's the thing. We can measure angles, right? So we can use a camera, or some cameras have an accelerometer in them, so you know if it is pointing perpendicular to down. And in a balloon, that's difficult because I haven't seen any that draw it on the screen. Right, so the balloons are not very useful because when it's wobbling up and down, we don't know when it is horizontal, right, perpendicular to down. So we'd need some other device to do that, wouldn't we? So what other kind of device might we be able to use to test and then measure? Because we can only measure angles, right? We can't measure inches. What's the inches drop? That when you twist a camera, that doesn't tell you drop in inches. It tells you angle. That's it. Right?
Well, the gold standard among flat earthers is with some sort of straight standard, like a laser traveling over the land and seeing how the land conforms to the laser. Does it block the laser? Does it appear to be flat and level with the laser? Does it curve away from the laser? It appears to be flat and level.
But you changed the topic again, though, Lemon. You're talking about the horizon. You said affirmatively that the horizon does rise to eye level, and your example though, your first example here doesn't give a way to measure whether or not the horizon did or did not rise to eye level. And then I'm asking, let's find a way to do that, and then you're going off to a different topic. So let's stay on this topic. How could we measure that?
Measure it? We could get some lasers or something, I guess. But with the laser test, along with the high altitude balloon footage, it's giving a picture of flat level land along with the infrared photos where you can see up to 1,000 miles.
Where would you do the laser? Would you have somebody like from the balloon, you'd have somebody a couple hundred miles away and then pointing a laser, but that still wouldn't tell you anything because you said the horizon rises to eye level. Why not just measure if it is rising to eye level?
Toward eye level. I didn't say it rises to eye level. I said it rises toward eye level.
Oh, well,
now you're just with a flat plane beneath your feet, but it rises toward eye level, which is more consistent with a flat surface than a ball.
So what is the prediction for, say, 35,000 feet on flat Earth, and how can we quantify the drop that we would expect
on flat Earth? There would be little to no drop. You would have angular resolution of the two halves of your vision merging into a horizon line, like looking down the hallway. It would basically be centered around the diffraction through the lens as the light is focused through the optic of the eye or the camera, and angular resolution, which would, factor in refraction over a flat plane, the wavelength of light, atmospheric conditions. It basically would be limited to angular resolution at the eye level of the observer, more or less.
But I asked you, and you didn't answer. Can you shut the door, please?
I did answer and said I don't know. It would be based off of angular resolution at that height when the top and bottom half of your vision merge into a horizon line.
Can I propose an answer based on geometry? Because geometry can tell us this answer, right? So
geometry can only tell us this answer if we're on a ball. We need evidence of curvature, and we really don't have that.
No. We can use geometry to determine what we should expect if the Earth is flat, right? So, if you are, let me see if I got me a ruler here. I'll draw the flat surface for you, and then this here. Right, so we've got you see that this is your elevation, and then this is the flat Earth, right? So, let's say the Earth is what do you think? 40,000 kilometers from one side. Let's say there's an ice wall, right? From one side of the ice wall to the other side of the ice wall is 40,000 kilometers. Does that sound good? Do you think it's more?
No.
Do you think it's more?
If you go by Captain Cook's voyages of 60,000 plus miles around the Antarctic ice wall, that would be what?
Well,
more like 100,000 kilometers.
Well, that's the circumference.
Circumference. So
I'm talking
you would
diameter.
divide that by 2 pi. So that would be like. I'd have to break out my calculator later. 40, 50, I guess, so. 40.
It's pi d. Pi d. So let's say you want to do 100,000 is the circumference? Right? What do you think? 100 divided by pi. I think you cut out there. I mean, we can do that. We can go farther if you want. Are you? Oh yeah, I see you're muted. Let's go 100,000. Let's say it's 100,000.
100 divided by pi is like 30,000. So I guess 40, 30,000, whatever. Sure.
40. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do 40,000 miles. Let's say it's really big, right? So we go back to this and we say 40,000 miles, and then we say the elevation from like a plane, because people can take plane rides, and I did. I've taken plane rides. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, so 35,000 is a pretty high plane ride, and how many miles is that?
35,000 feet.
Yeah.
Like 7 miles, something like that.
Yeah, we wouldn't have the same.
52,800 would be 10, so like what, 5-7 miles?
It's 6.628. Let's call it 7 miles. All right. So we've got ourselves a triangle. We can do some geometry on flat Earth. Some flat Earth geometry. I'm going to draw a line here. All right. So we've got now. We can test if the Earth is flat. If all that we can do is get in a plane, that's all we need. So on a plane, if we could just get a device that could measure true level, or eye level, but it's called true level really. And there are such devices. You can have them for your phone for just a couple dollars. Right? So then we can do the geometry to get the angle here. Right? So first we solve the triangle, and then we can get this angle right here, and that'll tell us for the most extreme. So if you're on one side of the ice wall to the other side of the ice wall, what that angle should be. Right? That sound good? So we're I'm just going to do the triangle calculator. I challenge flat earthers all the time to solve triangles, but I'll give you a little hint. I like to cheat. I just type in triangle calculator a lot of the time, but I do have a slide rule. If you prefer that I use the slide rule, I could. Excuse me. I must be allergic to flurfiness. Anyway, tell me if you need the slide rule.
I did 6-7 miles divided by 20,000 miles from one side to the other and got 0.0003. That's well beyond average angular resolution.
You divided?
To get the angle and get the arctangent of that or whatever to get the angle. It would be like a really small angle. Let me see what this thing says. 0.000005. So it probably would not be seen if you're talking about angular resolution.
Okay, so it should
up and
be
down from that point.
It should be so minimally below eye level that you could not distinguish it from eye level. Right?
But we're dealing with a different theory of how light interacts. It would be so beyond angular resolution, all you would see is a converged horizon line beyond which there would be little to no visibility.
Okay, so you'd see a converged horizon line at eye level.
Yes.
Okay, so, well, turns out that the devices that can measure this look like phones and act like phones and actually are phones. There are accelerometers in phones, and they're quite accurate. My phone's an iPhone 7 Plus. The accelerometer in it and the angle measurement in it is accurate to 0.011 degrees from the manufacturer. Now, I have the Theodolite app, which cost all of $2 or $3, and I put that in. I'm gonna share my screen to you so you can see it. I brought it up with me when I was flying back from Hawaii. Not from Hawaii. Never been to Hawaii. Flying back from... there it is. Flying back from... why can't I think of it? Alaska. There it is. I was flying back from Alaska. This is the middle of the night. And you can... is the time in this? The time is not in there, but it's the middle of the night. And there's the latitude and the longitude are shown in there, and the elevation 35,000 feet. Now I'm closer to the hypothetical ice wall, so we could maybe cut the number in half, but your angle isn't going to change very much. And can you see there that there's a circle over there, kind of just below the horizontal crosshair?
Yeah.
That is the moon, and below that is the clouds, and below the clouds is the horizon. So it didn't rise to eye level.
It still rose toward eye level past whatever horizon you had at ground level. That alone is more than enough to discredit the ball, because at that point that is not the boundary of a ball if the horizon is rising past that boundary that's set at ground level. The ball's been falsified, and the only thing that's consistent with a surface that is rising toward the level of the eyes is a flat plane. Or a flat-ish plane.
So actually, according to your math, this doesn't fit. This failed your test. The entire moon is below true level. And I have another one here from Globular Epic Bikini.
Is that as far as the moon can go? Because by perspective, the moon would dip closer and closer and closer toward the eye level of the observer toward the horizon. So is that as far as the moon can go before it disappears, or did you get it early before it disappeared before the horizon? This stuff can get very complicated.
This was actually later when we took off. We could not see the moon. So
I need to see if the moon is dipping toward the horizon anymore and going as far as it can, or if that's, the lowest it goes before it circles around over the flat plane.
Yeah, except if it were flat, do you think that the moon would be like less than 35,000 feet? Because according to perspective, if the Earth were flat, the moon now has to be less than 35,000 feet in elevation.
By perspective, stuff dips toward the eye level of the observer regardless of its height if it gets far enough away from you, like the train tracks in reverse.
Yeah, but it doesn't
That's why
cross.
perspective and optical geometry can be so difficult, because you never know when these perspective lines are going to converge in F with your angle.
Yeah, but on the train track, the left train track and the right train track, does the left train track, when it past where they kind of converge, do they, to your vision, does the left look like it goes to the right and the right look like it goes to the left?
They appear to merge. It's hard to tell what's going on. It just merges.
Okay, so they don't
just like
cross.
the top and bottom half of your vision merge into a horizon line, and you really don't know what's going on beyond the line because everything's so merged.
Okay, so if it's truly above the horizon line, the eye level, if it's truly above there, it can't appear to be below. Is that what you're saying?
The train tracks already show that that's false. Everything merges into the horizon line at the eye level of the observer by perspective and optics.
Okay, so then due to perspective, as you said, something that's truly above, higher than your elevation, could not ever appear to be lower than your elevation.
It's not lower, it just appears to merge into the horizon, and you interpret it as being lower than the horizon because of how you're interpreting the image.
Sure,
it's always
okay.
above, it's just merging into the horizon.
So
like
if it's still large enough and visible enough that it did not yet merge into nothingness and shrink down to nothingness, as you, right? If you can still see it, if it's truly above, then it should not appear below in the bottom half. Is that what you're saying?
No, it would merge into the horizon based off of your height. You're going to get a horizon line based off of an equal zone above and below your eye line merging. So if you're 35,000 feet, you're going to get a 35,000 feet visual zone up and down from your eye level that will merge together symmetrically into a horizon line. Anything that is higher than that will have to set beyond the horizon line formed for those two symmetrical visual zones, like the moon, like the sun, whatever, if it goes far enough away.
But, okay, but the problem is that we're looking at a picture on the screen here of the moon, which is below true level. And the angular size of the moon did not change, actually. Midday to, end of, or not midday, like from when it's right above the horizon to when it's, at its highest point to when it's at its lowest point on the horizon and later, it doesn't change in size. So the changing in size stuff doesn't actually happen. It doesn't merge in. It never does. And in this picture, we can see clearly that the moon is below eye level. It did not, as you said it must, it did not merge into the horizon.
Who knows? Maybe it's refraction over a flat plane.
A special pleading here? Maybe.
Well, when you have a base paradigm that you work with and it runs into problems, you still work with the base paradigm assumption, namely the flat Earth. And if it does come into problems, you make ad hoc assertions to reconcile the differences, just like the Globers do with their refraction.
That doesn't sound like science. That sounds like religion.
Yes. So the thing is, you just see how the paradigm holds up against scrutiny.
But we just, using your own scrutiny, your paradigm didn't hold up.
Well, even your paradigm has ad hoc assertions of its own with refraction and other things. We just need to see how it holds up to scrutiny versus, say, other models.
They're not ad hoc, though.
Yes, they are. Refraction models do not take into account angular resolution at all. They only deal with light traveling in a straight line string and whether or not it hits the eye, but not whether or not it would hit the sensor of the eye and be at a wide enough angle beyond angular resolution to make a 2D impression on the sensor of the optic. So even your model of refraction, so-called, key missing elements that need to be taken into account when we look at the horizon, which is converged due to angular resolution, as opposed to being a hump of Earth curvature blocking what's beyond.
Wow. So then what is the correct way to calculate refraction and include, since you know, right? You obviously know because you're the one that's telling all of us that it's wrong. You must know the right way to do it. So what is the right way to calculate refraction and include angular resolution.
Well, that's new territory. We need some new models, and we need to junk the base assumption that the Earth is a ball.
No, we wouldn't. You'd have to actually not have an ad hoc answer. So, all right, hold on a second. Jack Zong is trying to.
It's the nature of scientific revolutions. Whenever they have a conflict, they make ad hoc assertions to try to salvage the paradigm despite the conflicts and the conflicting evidence, globe or flat.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when the conflicts become, too many, does the paradigm fall.
When you find that things don't work, then your theory is not correct. So then you look again and you find out what's wrong in your theory. The thing is, we don't have anything that is unresolved in the globe, but there's lots of unresolved things for flat Earth. I found a box.
There's lots of unresolved things for the globe as well.
Like what?
The fact that gravity is supposed to be a universal force in all matter, yet it is not universally expressed when we look at matter in every other place. The ad hoc excuse is that the gravity well of the Earth is so strong it overrides the gravimetric force of all this other matter. Ad hoc and makes the model untestable because I cannot go to the center of the Earth's mass to verify that stuff is attracted there or whatever they're saying.
It's actually, we can confirm it. So where have you found that gravity failed?
Helium that floats against this force of gravity. And then when you talk about helium, the ad hoc assertion is that it pulls down everything else around the helium so much that it indirectly buoys up the helium by dint of pulling down everything else, and then the things push up the helium while they're being pulled down. Ad hoc rationalization right there.
Where is my book? I have a book for you to read. It's on my website, mctoon.net/stuff. It's called 6 Not So Easy Things from Feynman. I don't have it here. He talks about adding
Don't worry, I'm
vectors.
reading Thomas Kuhn's Structure of Scientific Revolutions. It talks about scientific paradigms and many scientific revolutions and how people work through different paradigms from one paradigm to another. It's a fascinating read.
Have you done enough math to add vectors?
I've seen them once or twice. What about them?
Once or twice you've seen them. So here's the deal. Gravity pulls the balloon down. Gravity pulls the air down. And buoyancy is a factor as well. And buoyancy is related to the volume displaced, is related to the density of the material, the medium that's been displaced, and the downward force of gravity. So it actually confirms gravity. And the other thing that doesn't work well for you is when you take a balloon and you put it into an evacuated chamber, it falls. So how does that
there
work?
are other alternatives to gravity that people are looking at, like electromagnetism from the EU. I personally think that we're in an etheric sea of electromagnetic energy. We're just fishy swimming in the ether.
So, okay, hold on a second.
Organizing it into an up and down column is frequency and electromagnetic frequency.
All right, Jack Zang is going to have he's going to freak out if you don't start backing up your crap here. Jack is in the chat here too. Can you talk, Jack?
Can you hear me?
There we go. I hear you. I don't see you, but that's fine. So
my hair is looking like trash right now. I'd rather not.
Oh, my hair is looking good enough for the both of us, I suppose. So Lemon, you said it could be electromagnetism. So let's test that. What's the formula that for that? So we can test.
It's demonstrable with quantum locking. You can get orbits that are demonstrable with that. So I'd go with that over gravity any day of the week.
Okay, well, give us how we do that. How do we test that hypothesis?
I tested it by demonstrability. You can't get orbits with gravity, with like
kind
a
of
ball and something
what
floating
kind of
around
monster?
another ball due to gravity here on Earth. You can demonstrate it with electromagnetic quantum locking, so I'm going to go with electromagnetism.
Well, then how do we test that theory?
We would vary the medium that the object's in. I guess we would send different frequencies to the medium of air, ether, or whatever that the object's in, and see if it causes it to float or sink or whatever.
That doesn't make any sense. So
what doesn't make sense about it?
We're gonna send frequencies at it.
Yeah, frequency of what?
The frequency of the medium that it's in. We could send sound frequencies at it. I guess we could send electricity at it, which is a type of frequency.
Okay, electricity
sound
is
and electricity. How about that?
What exactly are you sending? Are you sending a current, a charge? What are you sending? Frequency is just measuring the rate at which something oscillates. So what's oscillating here?
The ether and whatever the ether's mixed in the air, the water, whatever. But the background medium is the ether.
What aspect of the ether is oscillating? So for example, if I want to talk about the frequency of sound waves, that's the rate at which air pressure will oscillate. What about the ether is oscillating?
The oscillations of the ether give you all the waves that you're talking about: magnetic, electric, heat. All of this stuff is manifestations of the ether. We just need a new philosophy to interpret the findings.
Ether is whatever you want it to be that solves every problem. Sounds like.
It's a better philosophy because in your philosophy, space is nothing. Nothing cannot exist. Therefore, space must be a something. That something could be something like an ether.
All right, well, there's a preposition that needs backing up. Show me how empty space does not exist.
Nothing cannot exist. If nothing can exist and something can exist, well, then we don't even have a logical leg to stand on.
Well, no.
I can say that there's a pink unicorn over there. It's nothing, but it exists. That's untenable.
Preposition that has no bearing on anything. I could just as easily say, let X be the empty set. And the empty set is empty, and say that X exists. I can let anything exist or not exist if I want to just make random prepositions, but you need to actually back them up with some sort of empirical basis if you want to do physics.
Yeah, and the framework in which they accepted that space was something like an ether was an intelligible framework to interpret the Michelson-Morley experiment, where they split the light in the interferometer, it recombined at the other side of the interferometer or whatever, out of phase, implying that one of the wavelengths of light went slower, going against something, probably the ether of space, and went faster in the other direction when it was going with the flow of this thing in space. An intelligible
Have you ever
framework
actually read the paper published by Michelson-Morley? Have you read that paper?
I've read a couple of the analyses of the paper.
No. I don't care for whatever junk analysis is done of it.
For the purposes of this discussion, we can say no, so you can get on to your main point.
Okay, because I have actually read it, and your deductions seem to contradict what Michelson and Morley said themselves.
They were committed heliocentrists. They had to have the Earth moving, namely at 30 kilometers per second. They didn't have the counter proposal that the Earth was motionless and at rest, and the interferometer speeds of ether that they got of 6 to 8 kilometers could have been explained with an Earth that was motionless and at rest, or at least moving much slower, with at best ether gently swirling over the Earth. They needed to work.
Okay, hold on, Jack, a second here. Yeah. So, Lemon, are you aware that the Michelson-Morley experiment was not the only time that the Michelson-Morley experiment was done? That they've done it over and over since then. I'm showing on screen here. They did it a refinement, 1926. They did it again in 27, 29. And then I skipped. I have one from 2007, 2008. And that's all I have on here. So every time they did it, they were able to increase the resolution, the quality, reduce the margin of error of the experiment, and the gentle swirling, as you said, in the better, more recent experiments, they did not find that because the first one, the margin of error was a certain size, and the gentle swirling, as you said, was within the margin of error. So the newer ones has a much smaller margin of error, and they don't find that gentle swirling.
But the problem is they're working off of the assumption that the Earth moves, namely at the 30 kilometers per second speed needed to generate an ether drift of 30 kilometers per speed in the experiment. Their base assumption is wrong, therefore their interpretation of the findings is going to be a little off.
Okay, so you have the alternative interpretation of the findings then? That
Robert Sungenis talks about it in his video on Einstein Closet Geocentrist, where they did get ether, just not enough to justify the movement of the Earth. It appears that the Earth is motionless and at rest, and based off of the laser test and high altitude balloon footage, flat as well, and probably covered by a dome.
Probably. So, so here's the problem, Lemon. Like I said, they've redone the Michelson-Morley experiment, and I mean, unless you can find errors in their methodology, and I'm sure you've not looked at them, so I won't expect you to look at them right now on the fly, but you can find it on my website, some of them, mctoon.net/mmredux, REDUX, and you can find several listings of newer versions of the Michelson-Morley experiment with much tighter. So here, this one has an accuracy of 10 to the negative 15 is their margin of error. So they're 7 parameters. Let's see, we extract 7 limits on 7 parameters at accuracies down to 10 to the negative 15. So they did not find.
It looks like the problem is the paradigm used to interpret the results, not the methodology. The methodology is fine. It appears that they are hamstrung to a paradigm that makes them interpret the results in a certain way, namely expecting 30 kilometers per second of ether drift where there may be none because perhaps the Earth is motionless and at rest.
Okay, so these further experiments confirm then that if there is ether, it's not moving in relation to the surface of the Earth. Is that what you're taking?
We need to see their base assumptions and how they interpret the data. We'd have to go back and forth between their base paradigm, stated or unstated, and how they would use that base foundational paradigm to interpret the results.
All right, here's what I'm going to do, Lemon. I'm going to send you right there. Send you that one, and I'll send you the overview. You have a look at them.
I don't think it's half the things he's saying.
Yeah.
Sounds like a case.
But the problem is, of course, Lemon, that if Gary Wybenga, oh, he's so cute, so precious. A helium balloon falls down in a vacuum because there are no gases left inside it for it to be buoyant over, nothing else. Exactly. So gravity pulls it down. Gary,
Good job.
Oh, and Austin Witsit wants to get in. Why so badly, Austin? Oh man, Austin, you've been beat 3 times. You want to make it a 4th? You bet. We can, let's schedule it, Austin. Oh, all right, Lemon. So the thing is, I think that what you're thinking is that can you start with a yes or no so I can be sure that I understand your position, and then if you need to give an explanation, do that. Do you think that the Michelson-Morley experiments confirm that the ether, if it exists, is at the same speed relative to the surface of the Earth? Like if the Earth is moving, it's stationary.
The Earth is motionless and at rest.
Let me. All right. So then I'll couch it in those words. Do you think the Michelson-Morley experiment confirms that? Just a second. Confirms that. Hold on, my daughter wants to say goodnight, so just a second here.
The Earth is motionless and at rest with at best ether gently swirling over it. Ether, space itself, gently swirls over the Earth.
All right, that's what people see. So here, put this in your ear. Put that there. And, okay. So if you talk, they'll hear you.
Hi.
So, all right.
Oh.
She's going to
Hello.
bed. She wants to say goodnight.
Hey, Lily.
What?
Hello, little one.
No. Okay. No, you talk to Mom about that, silly kid. You have enough. Oh, you already listened to all of your audiobook. Okay. Okay. Well, shut the door, please. All right. I'm sorry, people. She wants to listen to an audiobook, and I'm like, oh, she never gets to sleep if she does that. So, Austin, oh my goodness. He thinks that I'm scared of him. I've ruined him 3 times. Here's what I don't like. I don't like dog piles. I don't like lots and lots of people at the same time because the topic never gets to be explored. You wind up just going all over the place. So I don't want to have Lemon and Austin on at the same time. And I only sent Jack an invite because Lemon wasn't in yet. So I probably wouldn't have done that. Not that it makes a big difference.
But Witsit really gets it.
Apparently he does. So if you wanna tag in, maybe, I don't know, that would be fine. But I'm okay. Apophis Rex says, "Don't speak to children, Lemon. Remember that court order."
Aha.
And Quiddies is asking him, I'm not going to tell all 33 of my kids goodnight. Some of them come in, some of them don't. Some of them stay up later than me, and you know how it is. So, all right. So you've said it. So let me get one more clarification on this then. Do you think that the Michelson-Morley experiments confirm that the ether exists and that it is stationary with the Earth?
Well, directly no, but it seems to be very interpretable with the framework in which the ether exists, namely where light is going slower against something solid and viscous and substantial in space, faster with the flow of space, explaining why the light is out of phase when split in the interferometer and sent down 2 different paths and recombined. So based off of that theoretical framework where space is an ether with some sort of substance, that experiment is highly interpretable as far as I can see.
So why would you bring it up?
Because it is an intelligible framework that explains the finding. If you have another intelligible framework to explain why the light is out of phase, other than the light going slower against the flow of space, faster with the flow of space, then I would love to hear it.
But it didn't come back out of phase.
You're gonna have to mute him so I don't have to talk over him because it's getting annoying.
All right, go ahead, Jack.
What's going on?
Don't worry about it. All right. So what you need to know about interferometer experiments is that they don't measure the movement of the Earth with respect to this. That's not their purpose. The purpose of the original Michelson-Morley experiment was to say that if there is some, what was the exact frame, exact wording they used, luminiferous ether, what is the velocity of the Earth with respect to that ether? Because there should be some sort of phase shift when the light reaches that final point in the interferometer. Now, what phase shift they got as an empirical result could be explained by the fact that it was it's within the margins of error. So every single experiment you ever perform will have some sort of experimental error. And as time progressed, as with most things, just like how the Cavendish experiment has evolved to these incredibly elaborate apparatuses, our degree of error has gone down. And so now with modern experiments, we have much more precise testing methods for detecting any sort of apparent phase shift. And what we get is that the speed of light is not dependent on any sort of inertial frame of reference. It's what we call invariant, meaning no matter what direction you're moving in, that the speed of light will always be constant. And that's what's empirically verifiable within the data that we get. We don't start with some sort of paradigm and then try to fit the data to it. That's the exact opposite of science. We take the data and then we try to take some sort of deductions from it. If there was some ether that the Earth is moving with respect to, then we should get some sort of phase shift. But whatever phase shift comes up in our empirical data, it goes down and it approaches zero as our error bounds approach zero. And so what it's if we have an equalized system that doesn't have any sort of error, then we should get zero phase shift, which is just not present in actual empirical results because of experimental error. But as far as the what conclusion we can draw from this, it's that the speed of light is invariant, and if you're going to say that there's an ether, it also has to have its speed vary with the speed of light still needs to be invariant with respect to the frame of reference, and at that point you're just adding an ether for no reason. That's why it was ditched.
But the problem that we have is either there is little to no phase shift because there is no ether, or there's little to no phase shift because the Earth is not moving with respect to the ether. So you have two different experimental interpretations that are available depending on your paradigmatic, depending on the dedication to the paradigm that you have. And these people were dedicated heliocentrists and would not let a foot in the door where the Earth is motionless and at rest, which would match the Christian scriptures, which they were trying to run away from like hell for the past 400 years.
Nobody gives a rat's ass about your Christian scriptures, okay?
That's not why they're doing it.
That's why they interpreted the experiment in that fashion, because they didn't want the Earth to be motionless and at rest and be preferred frame of reference.
You could create a model framework that involves an ether. The thing is, the results you get is going to have to match the results we get from no ether being present in empirical models. And those models, they work just fine. They are accurate to whatever we get empirically, and so they're accurate models. They don't require an ether, and if you add one just for the sake of having an ether, it sounds to me like you're trying to force the results to match your preconceived perception of what the world.
But they already did that because they had the notion that the Earth was moving through space at 30 kilometers per second. If that is an erroneous assumption, not backed by any empirical evidence, then maybe it's time to get a new foundational paradigm as your starting point.
Oh, but there is evidence for it. So we don't need to get a new paradigm, right? We can measure them.
Where? I don't feel movement. I feel an Earth that is motionless and at rest, like the Bible says when it is on pillars, on top of a watery deep, motionless at rest, still and not moving.
Hold on.
Where do
You
see
said,
this movement?
Lemon, I don't feel it move. What part of the human anatomy feels constant speed?
Constant speed.
Yes.
Rotational speed is inherently inconstant.
What
it has to change
part?
direction constantly to keep
That is
position around the central
Hold
axis.
on. Lemon, answer the question. What part of the human anatomy feels constant speed?
Your stomach, your feet, your head.
No, they feel acceleration. What part of the human anatomy feels constant speed? There is no part of the human anatomy that feels constant speed. Now, you are correct. If we're rotating, there is a centrifugal force, right? And the centrifugal force at the equator is 0.03 meters per second up. The gravity due to Earth is 9.8 meters per second down. So it's too small to feel the difference. We don't feel that much
But this
speed.
is too much special pleading if I can feel 20 miles per hour in a car, but I can't feel 66,000 miles through space. That is inconsistent. I reject that paradigm because of its inconsistency.
You don't feel 20 miles. You don't feel 20 miles an hour.
Yes, I do. And also in the car, that is
no, you don't.
Much lower than the 66,000 miles per hour. That is many magnitudes greater in space that I would theoretically feel.
Lemon, we cannot feel speed. Humans lack the ability to feel speed. We feel acceleration. That's it.
Yeah, and we are constantly accelerating to keep our circular motion.
Here, Michael, I just I sent something to you. Could you just?
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I'm working on it. Give me a second. Maybe you want to talk to him. So here's what we're gonna do, Lemon. We're gonna wrap this up, and then I'm gonna send a link to Witsit. He wants to get
Witsit really gets
a
it.
fourth time.
Sure.
Well, whatever. All right. So I gotta close. I got so many tabs open. So, all right. Too many things going on at the same time here. And here it is. There's that. I gotta find the downloads folder. I do have too much going on the computer. I need to close some things for reals. Actually, that. Don't need that. Oop. And don't need that. There we go. That should help a little. So, accent something, and I'm gonna grab it here. Ooh, some audio went funny for a second. Don't know why there. So, downloads, need to get it here. So, there is no part of the human anatomy that feels. I love that one. That's one of my favorites because, of course, there is no part of the human anatomy that feels constant speed. Now then you talk about acceleration. And yes, of course, there is acceleration. And I said that the largest acceleration would be the centrifugal force due to the Earth's rotation, which is very small in terms of meters per second squared. So I'll share this to you so that you can see it. Yep, there it is. And there we go. All right, so there is.
As well.
Yeah, they can see that now.
All right. So the question I want them to answer is: are those lines parallel?
Excuse me?
Are those horizontal lines parallel? Those bands?
If you are finished, yeah, what you say now?
What?
Sounded like he's talking to his phone or something. Or are you talking to your Echo? Lemon, are you still there? I don't know if he's still there.
From afar, it looks parallel, but up close, it appears to slant.
All right. So here's the thing: you can't just say it feels like we're not moving, because your senses are not something that are very finely tuned or that produce accurate, precise results. We measure things like acceleration with accelerometers, but an accelerometer will give the same reading regardless of what speed you're at. There is no mechanism to derive some sort of absolute motion. You being at a constant speed of 20 meters per second will produce the exact same results if you were to do any sort of experiment as you would at 0 meters per second with respect to some arbitrary object. You can't just say, oh, it feels like I'm not moving. First of all, you don't feel velocity. You can't. Second of all, even if you could, if that's the standard we're going to go by, then anything that is too small for us to detect with our senses, we can just throw out the window, which is obviously a load of crap. So you can't just say, oh, I don't feel like we're moving. That doesn't mean anything. It makes no difference to me.
But even your paradigm doesn't have room for that, because even in the current atomic paradigm, atoms are always in vibratory motion. They're always oscillating and vibrating. So by that metric where you're saying that we would feel movement or whatever acceleration, we'd be accelerating constantly and feeling constant acceleration.
If that acceleration is large, we do in fact feel it. But we can measure smaller amounts of acceleration with finer amounts of precision with an apparatus.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up. Because I got we're gonna get Witsit in here because he wants to come in. Lemon, thank you for coming on. I mean you could hang around if you wanted, but we're gonna have I don't like lots and lots of people, so it gets too messy, you know. Let me read a couple things. So Witsit Gets It for $1.99 says Mick Looney Tunes is afraid of the arena. The reality is that I never accepted going in there. I would not. I've already been on the 24/7 server, so no thank you. Robert Williams for $1.99 says where did they find helium on Earth? Witsit gets it again, says, send me the link unless you're scared, McGoon. So he likes to use those because apparently that proves the shape of the Earth. So Titanic Terrarium for 5 Singaporean dollars says quantum levitation or quantum locking is the ability of a superconductor to perfectly match the magnetic field surrounding it, also known as quantum locking. So yeah, that is not actually a replacement for gravity or explanation for gravity. Tim Pryor for $5 says, ask him where flat Earth resigns if space does not exist because all matter takes up space. You mean resides? Maybe? If space does not exist because all matter takes up space.
Obviously, space is a firmament. If we're covered by a firmament dome, NASA's probably lying. There may be space under the dome, but I go with the Hebrew cosmology where the sun, moon, and stars are within the dome, so somebody's lying.
Yep, and we all know who. Because there's... Oh, you're so funny.
NASA.
Oh, I love it. All right. Witsit gets it again. Says send link and let me jump in. McCartoon. So he's got 3 names so far. Tim Pryor for $5 says, then why can't you fly a drone in a car going 60, but the drone does not have to go 60 if you could feel it? Exactly. Its velocity is relative. Lael is here for $5. Says if a car is going 20 or 25 miles an hour, you feel the speed difference? Do you feel the speed difference? Do you feel motion? How do you feel, LemonBird? How do you feel the difference between 20 miles an hour or maybe you're on an airplane going 500 miles an hour? How do you feel that difference? You can't. Cretan Ball for 2 Canadians says, for the love of God, give us Jack versus Austin. It's coming.
I'll do it, but goddamn, my brain cell count.
Oh yeah, it's our pain, your gain, people. Lael is here for $5. Says, meaning that the speed someone would not be able to tell 20 mile an hour, however they feel motion. Yeah, so you feel in the car, you feel the motion because there's, bumps and slight accelerations up and down and all that as the car goes over things. So, all right, here we go. Here comes Austin. I'm going to send him the link to Zoom.
We're going to kick Lemon here because I got a feeling.
Yeah, Lemon, I appreciate being here, but I mean, and if you'll just, listen in, that's fine. I don't want to just boot you or anything, but, just let's have Witsit have a chance here. And we do have Austin and Jack, so that could be interesting. Stringer News 1 for $2 says, your message here. Thank you. Your message here. So, all right, link has been sent to Austin. Let me try to close a few more tabs here. So I have all the open tabs I need right here. I was reading on triplet oxygen. A book by Van Vleck. Let's see there. Yeah, the theory of electric and magnetic susceptibilities by Van Vleck. J.H. Van Vleck. I've not read it. I found the PDF. I don't need that tab open anymore. So there we go. So still nothing from. Oh wait, hold on. Let me check. I have the. There it is. All right. Austin is joining now. Connecting to audio.
What's up, dude?
Oh, there it is.
Why do you drink so much sodas, McTin? You know they're bad for you, right?
Don't tell anybody, but that's just water.
That's
I refill
weird.
it every time. I just want to be able to have some open tabs in case Red Pill Philosophy shows up.
So you don't actually drink sodas, you fake drink sodas, and you fill them up with water.
That's right.
Wow, what a weirdo.
Have you ever tried Tab? It's disgusting.
No, I haven't, McTin. So there's a few things, right? So one, I hear that you were going to debate QE, and I was like, yeah. And then I guess I see your title, Will QE Show Up? But then I read the messages. I guess he asked you to come to the arena, right?
Well, 4 months ago, I invited him to come on here. So I
was talking about how y'all agreed that y'all are going to debate today.
I did not agree that I'd be on his server.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to understand your title. It says Will QE Show, so that must mean you're under the understanding that y'all were going to have some type of conversation, right? So you thought he was just going to put together without y'all agreeing on it, that you meant he should come to here solely, even though he specifically asked you to come to the arena? I just want to expose that clearly here's what happened. I'm going to expose you're painting it as if QE was supposed to come here and he's not showing up, as if he's afraid to debate you. But dude, I read the messages. So for everyone that's listening, so now they know, he said you can come into the arena, right? Which for you don't know, he said I've been in 24/7. I'm almost done, McToon. I've been in 24/7. We don't want to go there, but we opened up a new section of it where it's moderated debate 1v1, right? And that's what he was saying, was like, y'all could have the fair moderated debate, a referee, you get 3 objections per person, blah blah blah. And I'm just saying, I don't understand, like, what's the point of making a title like Will QE Show Up when you know that was what he asked you, and you didn't clarify either way? Doesn't that seem dishonest, McToon?
Well, you didn't watch the beginning of this live stream where I specifically went over the things that I covered. I invited him, and he didn't accept. So there you go.
I read it. He invited you to the arena. I read it.
I invited him to come on.
We can move on, though.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
so McToon, after he invited you, so but I get it. You're scared of the arena because that's like real moderation, where like
4 months ago I invited him to come on here.
McToon, are you afraid of the arena?
I'm not going to go on the 24/7 Discord server. I've already been on there. Fool me once. Shame on you.
I feel you.
Shame on me.
But
I'm not going on. That's a garbage dump on the 24/7 server.
I got you.
So anybody going on there is just stupid.
Oh, it's just stupid. No, it's all good. It's all good. I got this. It's just stupid. That was his argument. Okay, but what I was explaining was we created a different server, basically, right? A channel underneath it, where the everyday people that don't know much, they come in there. That's where it gets chaotic in live stream. In the arena, you can challenge a person 1v1. Adequate and fair moderation is ensured. That's why we set it up, to remove all excuses. Each party has 3 objections. If the other party is using fallacious reasoning, the referee then gets to address the objection of fallacious reasoning. You get to maintain your objections as long as it's an adequate, fallacious reasoning that you call out. That's very fair. That's how intellectual forum works. I think that you might be afraid of that because you can't obfuscate. And then also, I have one more question. Dude, you said you didn't want me and Lemon to be on here at the same time because you don't like dogpiling, but you insisted on bringing another Glober in so y'all could both be dogpiling him with questions.
Again, you missed the part where I said I sent Jack the invite before Lemon came on. I did not know that Lemon was coming on. So again, you missed that part.
Oh,
that's
perfect.
fine.
You were still content having the conversation for a long time where both you and this guy are kind of dogpiling on Lemon, but then the reason you didn't want to let me on was... So anyway, I just wanted to kind of expose some of those things. It's all good. So if you would like to talk about your fairy tale religion or anything, I think that you should man up and go debate. I think you could stream on here while you're in the arena, right?
Yeah, so here's the deal. I'll just show you this. Here's 4 months ago. Designing Hawaii. Don't know who he is, but Designing Hawaii must be a QE, faithful acolyte. Says, debate quantum erasure, bet you won't. Immediately I reply, I have an opening June 9 at 8 p.m. Central on my server. Let him know. And then I said, bet he won't. And then I challenged Designing Hawaii. Said, I bet you won't. And then Designing Hawaii here says, not only will we both debate you, but you and I will be... and your religion will be obliterated. You'll give us great content. Sign us up. So I put him on the calendar. I said, be sure to have QE confirm. And QE, rather than confirm, says, give me $1,000.
I thought you said this wasn't QE. I thought you said this wasn't QE.
Designing Hawaii must have contacted QE.
Oh,
right?
So
and
you
QE
just lied again and said QE said something he didn't say. Why do you lie about people, McToon? That's why people don't respect you.
Hey, Austin, look at the bottom there. It's signed QE. So maybe Designing Hawaii just made this up and didn't actually talk to QE. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking he
I don't
did.
know. I don't know. But
So-
here, Muksun, and one more thing. So I have a question about your name. They call you. So am I saying it wrong when I call you like McToon? Obviously, I make a joke about McLooney Tunes and stuff. But is it MC? Right? You're an MC.
Yes. Yeah. I'm the worst.
So you got
rapper in
some
the world.
bars. Can we hear some? Can we hear some bars?
You know, there are limits on freedom of speech.
I got some. I got some bars for you. Since you falsely claim to be an MC, I'm gonna spit up some bars for you, and it's actually in the form of an argument that dismantles your heliocentric religion. Are you ready? All right,
No,
cool.
you can
So-
just give it as a simple.
How about you present
here's how it
evidence
is.
instead of
It's just-
lyrics?
it is. Listen. This
Instead
is
of
my
lyrics.
premise. It's my premise. Yeah. This is the argument.
Yeah.
You're
Do-
just
do you
afraid
have-
of
do you-
it. You're already afraid.
Yeah. So
Why are
will
you
it
afraid?
be backed by evidence or will it just be unsupported claims?
Well,
like
you have to
always?
listen to the premise,
That's all-
don't you,
That's all
McToon?
you have. All right. Yeah.
All right,
let's
listen.
hear it.
I'll say it slow because I know you need to keep up. So, anyway, have you ever really wondered what space is? They say that it's empty, vacant, with the pressurized system adjacent. But that's the second law of thermodynamics violations. And falsification is, you need to stop. Falsification is independent of replacement. Physical properties can't come from privations. Conceptual dilation is a space-time reification. You're regurgitating what you heard on stations Earth to station. It's not even worth debating. Also, a spherical necessitation would be north to south circumnavigation, which means you go south and there's a northern continuation. But Antarctic exploration is forbidden based on the cooperation of every major nation. And your base isn't based, so you're afraid to say it. We give NASA $60 million a day in payments for paintings, computer-generated animations. So you can respond to any of the premise you would like.
Could you cite where Antarctic exploration is forbidden, please?
Yeah, private exploration of Antarctica is forbidden based on the cooperation of every major nation.
Yeah. Where is that? Can you cite that the evidence for that instead of just that?
Are you saying that I can privately
unsupported?
To clarify, are you claiming? You're so funny. You're a globe zealot, and you're still arguing Antarctica. That just shows how dishonest of a little wizard you are, dude. So, are you claiming that I can privately explore Antarctica freely? Yes or no?
You've claimed you cannot.
Oh,
So
you can't answer because you're a liar, McToon. So
you made the positive claim, Austin, that you cannot go there. So please support that positive claim.
I said that you cannot go there privately.
Yes, you said you cannot go there privately. So please show the supporting evidence for that positive claim that you made.
The Antarctic Treaty, which was signed within a year of the foundation of NASA, has then evolved into additional stipulations and documentation, which I'm assuming, surely to God, you've looked at them since you seem to be such an expert on the globe Earth, right? And those countries that have additionally added on into the agreement, as the agreement has been updated over the years, have agreed upon a certain stipulation such as you cannot bring your own mechanic equipment, you cannot bring external fuel supply or external water supply.
These are just claims. Where do you have citations for these, or are you just going to blab on?
I'm on, McToon, I'm on an iPad.
Got any?
Anybody with above 100 IQ that wants to go research this themselves can. Most Globers admit this, but you're just such a liar you can't. So we can move on. I'm not going to argue about it.
No,
do you have anything else?
We're not moving on. What we're doing is we're showing
to all of it.
Right now that you have made a claim, a positive claim, and brought no evidence for it. So thank you very much.
Yes, the Antarctic Treaty adheres to everything.
Now that you have conceded defeat, that you have a positive claim without evidence, we can move on.
You're spiraling, bro.
To the north to south. The north to south
circumnavigation.
North to south has been done. Yes, several times.
Oh, several times. Can I independently go verify that?
What do you mean? You can.
No,
you can't.
So you can't independently verify it, which ties back into your first misrepresentation of the Antarctic Treaty, which forbids private exploration, external fuel supply, mechanic equipment, or you have to be subject to monitoring and approved guided tour to actually explore. Secondly, a lot of the people that claim you're afraid to get toxic exposure bullshit.
Claims without evidence. All
let me explain.
Evidence. So So
some of
just,
only a
all
few
you
people
need
have
to
even
do
claimed to do.
is
You're scared
provide
to hear me, dude.
evidence for your claims.
Only a
so
few
you just
people have ever claimed to-
ramble on your claims
You have to interrupt me.
and never provide evidence. So perfect.
McToon, you
I
always
thank
have
you
to-
very much
you always have to
for
interrupt
never
me,
having
dude.
evidence to support your claims.
That's
So
your
go
best
ahead,
debate
make
tactic
more
is to not let
claims
me debate
without
Right.
evidence.
Okay, so only a few people even claim to do north to south circumnavigation. If you actually look at their routes, right, they come down and they pop back up, going back up north. But that doesn't seem like north to south circumnavigation. You have to go over a ball, and I can't independently verify that. McLooney Tunes either doesn't know this or is being dishonest. Doesn't matter. Next argument was that
So
you
hold on.
cannot have
You've
a pressurized
claimed-
system adjacent
you
to a
claimed-
near perfect
just a
vacuum that
second.
violates
No,
the second
we're
law
gonna-
of thermodynamics
go back
because
to, we're gonna
entropy will
stick with
increase.
you're going to stick with your current unsubstantiated claim. The one more orbit was the most recent one. I'll put that up here for people to see. It is the most recent.
Yeah, is there uncut
circumnavigation.
documentation to prove it?
Yeah, that's not the standard of evidence for you.
Oh,
for
so we
your
don't have to
claims.
document it. We just have
So-
to believe your story, is what you're saying. So I can't independently verify it. They didn't document it, but you know it's true because you like cartoon pictures of
All right,
globe Earths and Star
you've
Wars.
You've claimed that it's not happened, but you can't actually do anything other than just
No,
say
you're
didn't
claiming it
happen.
has happened, McLooney Tunes. Can you prove
There
it?
you go.
Oh, you
So-
lose. You lost. That took a
So
long
there you go.
time. You claim they did it. Can you prove it, McToon?
Yeah.
Oh, you just said there's no
Aircraft
documentation,
live
so there's no
feed.
evidence of it, huh, McToon? Yeah, you lost.
Well, they did a
okay,
live
so we'll
feed
move
of
on.
it.
We'll move
The
on.
entire
They claim
thing
space
was
is empty,
live-
vacant.
Austin, shh. The entire thing was live streamed.
Oh, so 24/7 without any cuts. It was documented that they went all the way around the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, provide evidence. Provide the documentation.
OneMoreOrbit.com.
I know you had no idea because I just watched your face. You just now found where they claim. Now I know we all know that this is not uncut. We all know this is not uncut. This is a production, and you look like a clown. So stop bringing up. You love to talk about bringing up stuff you don't know about, and that's all you fucking do, McToon. That's all you do,
Yeah.
bro.
So-
like you self-project onto me,
there
dude.
you go. So OneMoreOrbit.com. So your claim once again destroyed. So
Where is the document? You just say things. There's a trailer
One
right there of a documentation
more
that's been produced.
Orbit.com.
You lose. Yeah, a trailer of a produced documentation, a documentary that's produced. It's not documented evidence of the travel, McToon. Are you 5?
So I love to be sure that you're going to be consistent with your standard of evidence. So all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your
so
next.
you got no
your
response.
next
Gotcha. The next argument. They
unsubstantiated
say
claim.
space is empty, that's vacant, or near perfect vacuum. There's such thing as a perfect vacuum because there's still a few hydrogen atoms per cubic meter. But for all intents and purposes, they call it a vacuum, which is conceptual. Near perfect vacuum adjacent to a pressurized system. So we have a pressurized system adjacent to a near perfect vacuum that's empty, that's vacant. That's a second law of thermodynamics violation. And falsification is independent of replacement.
Austin, so what you're saying is there's a pressurized system next to a pressurized system.
No, that's not what I said, is it?
Well, both systems are pressurized.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay, so the near perfect vacuum is sitting adjacent to the pressurized system that is the Earth, and you're saying that the near perfect vacuum is pressurized, right?
Both are pressurized. Yes, there is no.
So you're saying the near perfect
non-pressurized
vacuum
area.
of 10 to the negative 17 torr is pressurized, correct?
That is a pressure.
Michael,
yes.
just mute him and then
No, stop jumping in. You stop jumping in, like little gamma. I'm talking to someone else. So are you saying that there is a pressurized system in both scenarios, correct? Why can't you just answer the question so we can move on?
I've answered it already. So if you just
Okay,
recall
so the near
from your
perfect
memory,
vacuum
I
still
said
technically
yes
has pressure.
already.
Yeah, I know, but you just aren't catching up because my original premise already destroyed your rebuttal. You're just not listening to what I say.
No, you're just asserting things, but you're not actually using the second law.
Okay, well, I'll explain it. I said a
continue.
vacuum is conceptual, McToon. I said a vacuum itself is conceptual because there's no such thing as a perfect vacuum because there's at least a few hydrogen atoms per cubic. I said that in my preface, and that refutes your rebuttal. That's about what we get with you.
What you're
are you
saying
afraid to
is
debate QE? Or are you willing to come into the arena? Stop
both
dogpiling on
systems
Lemon
are
and stop lying and
pressurized
keep people's name
systems.
out of your mouth. That's basically the reason I'm here.
So both
Just
are
mute him and
pressurized
try.
systems. So I mean, he has just said both are pressurized systems, And he said a
didn't say that.
pressurized system can't be next to a pressurized system is basically his assertion.
I didn't say that either. All you do is straw man. How old are you?
Okay.
Aren't you a grown man, McToon? Why are you the straw man me?
But a vacuum does need to be pressurized just like a pressurized system, and both need a container. So you need a container for a vacuum and for the Earth. So the question begged is, what is the container for the vacuum of space?
Michael, just mute him.
Yeah, see, because that's what y'all do. You're scared. You can't debate, so you have to mute people.
You can go.
I can't talk over.
I didn't mute anybody. All right, Jack, why don't you go ahead and talk to Austin there?
All right,
yeah,
sure.
Jack, can you respond to my rhyme? So if they claim space is empty, that's vacant. With the pressurized system adjacent, it's second law of thermodynamics violation. But falsification, falsification is
let him address it.
He doesn't even know what it is, I'm sure. I'm breaking it down real slow for him. Falsification is independent of replacement. Y'all going to skip over that part, so I have to keep saying it. Falsification is independent of replacement, meaning if I falsify Santa Claus, I don't have to come up with some new figure to replace Santa Claus before Santa Claus is falsified. Okay? Falsification is independent of replacements. It's important to understand that.
All right.
Okay.
Let Jack talk now.
All right.
Go for it.
So I really don't see how you think that this violates the second law of thermodynamics. It says that basically the entropy of a system that's isolated from its surroundings will tend to zero as time goes on to infinity, basically.
No, it'll spontaneous equilibrium. Entropy will increase. So
no, don't talk over me. If you talk over me, Michael, just fucking mute him.
No, you're just lying about the second law of thermodynamics, dude.
The entropy of a system.
Well, find your quote there, Austin. Dig up your quote while Jack's talking. Your citation.
Dig up my quote.
Yeah, dig up your citation.
Isolated from its surroundings. If you want to take the entropy of the whole universe and your system, just to account for some sort of interaction between the environment and whatever closed system you have, or rather whatever system you're looking at specifically, then you can account for any sort of apparent change in entropy that would seemingly violate the second law of thermodynamics. The fact that you have one system with a pressurized gas system and another system that surrounds it with a much lower gas pressure, that doesn't mean anything. You have a gas pressure gradient. Good for you. That doesn't say anything about
pressure gradient is non sequitur to the question. That is a quantitative relationship of pressure, but I'm asking about the antecedent relationship. So you're talking about delta X. I'm asking about X.
You're saying that having a vacuum or a partial vacuum, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that surrounds the Earth, which is a pressurized gas system, somehow violates the second law of thermodynamics. That
because
is
you claim it. It's because what? It's a non. It's my original premise. Do you know what a non sequitur is?
It is an unsubstantiated claim. You have said it's the natural.
That's not what a non sequitur is, McToon.
Yeah, but you have not actually supported that.
It's a non-related
the second law of thermodynamics. Okay. So can you show where the second law of thermodynamics speaks about that? Can you show where the second law of thermodynamics addresses that with a citation, please? With a citation.
No, I don't have. I'm not going.
You don't have a citation.
I'm on an iPad, McToon. I'm on an iPad outside.
Exactly.
McToon, I'm on my iPad outside. Okay.
You've never provided a citation. Actually, I get it.
I do it daily in the arena. You're an idiot. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, how about this? You voice specifically what you have contention with whenever I define it, right? And then we can go from there. Don't you think that'd be the most productive way, McLooney Tunes? So if I'm saying that entropy will increase, if you have a pressurized system next to a much lower pressure system, the high pressure system will migrate to the low pressure system because entropy will increase. It will seek spontaneous equilibrium and fill the available space. Which part of that are you contending?
I don't contend that. My question is then, how quickly does that pressurization equalize?
Whoa. So you are literally changing the subject from my point.
Oh, no. You don't. You said it was spontaneous. You said it spontaneously equalizes. I'm asking, what is the actual
I did not say that. That's a straw man. That's a straw man, McToon. I did not say it spontaneously equalizes.
You certainly did.
I said it spontaneously seeks equilibrium. Those are different.
Okay, so
those are different, bro.
Spontaneously equalizes is different than spontaneously seeks equilibrium. Okay, fine.
Yes.
At what speed does it spontaneously seek equilibrium? What's the speed at which it does that?
Well, that's irrelevant. It's a red herring fallacy.
Oh, no, it's not. It's very
red herring
you
fallacy.
You don't want to go there because you know that it equalizes at the speed of sound.
It doesn't
the
matter
speed
in a
of
closed
sound.
dynamic system, does it, McToon?
In a closed dynamic system, it still equalizes.
Are you saying we can't have a gradient in a closed system? Can we have a gradient in a closed system?
We absolutely can, and it will equalize.
Can we have a gradient in a closed system?
Third time we can.
Okay, so what's your premise then, McToon?
There needs to be a force to create that disequilibrium.
Okay. So what's your point then? What you're claiming something right now. You just don't have the intellectual speed to know that.
Causing that disequilibrium.
Okay, that's your claim, right? So you're saying, are you basically proposing that it can't be contained because there's a gradient, and that would require a force? Are you saying it could be contained, but there's a force present within the contained? What is your argument?
Contained. It is contained. There is a force containing it.
How do you know that?
How do I know that? Well, we know that because there's a gradient. The gradient is the only way that we, no, maybe there's other ways.
You just contradicted yourself, McToon.
Can be caused by a force within a closed pressurized system or an open pressurized system.
Okay, but could a gradient be caused within a closed system with a physical container?
Fourth time, you can.
Of course you can. So your point is
system.
moot then McToon. You don't understand that means that you're literally not saying anything worth anything right now. Do you understand that?
Saying that you have an argument where the premise does not imply the conclusion. You're saying that for whatever reason, having a pressurized system next to another system that has a different pressure violates the second law of thermodynamics. However, all the second law of thermodynamics does is that you cannot have entropy decrease.
Here, as it applies to my premise, and I've already explained it, if there's a high pressure system adjacent to a low pressure system, the high pressure system will migrate to the low pressure system a million times in a row. And you're making a claim why, bro, guys, respond to my actual premise, man. Right?
I've never seen a walking chromosome disorder before until
but I dismantled you. I would dismantle you in a debate. I already am.
No, you're not.
That's all you can do is talk about me.
That's all you've got. All you've got is unsupported assertions.
Okay, how about this? Is this a hey, McToon, shut up with who's this gamma on your show? He's such a gamma. McToon, you're like the king gamma though, so what do I expect? McToon, is this a baseless assertion too, you little liar? So whenever I let out gas out of a container at the surface level, it's gonna go in all directions. Is that a baseless assertion?
Your assertion is that it will equalize. What was it? It will spontaneously seek equilibrium.
So you're turning red, McToon.
Spontaneously seek equilibrium. How quickly does it do that?
I'm saying the necessary antecedent to gas pressure's physical containment based on all observable phenomena. You're claiming something.
But that's just an assertion.
Okay, I guess
it's just an assertion.
Okay,
that's just an assertion. You've said it when we've debated. This is the third debate you've said the same thing. Your claim is that it requires a physical container, and you have never supported that claim. That's the problem there, Austin. You say that, and it's just, I said it, therefore it's true. Ipsy Dixit. That's it. You say it, therefore it's true. No, sorry. You're going to need to support that. You think it's part of the second law of thermodynamics, but it's not.
Oh, so wait, no, I got this, Lemon. I want to respond, bro. McToon's answer was nuh-uh. Okay, so anyway, what I'm saying is that based on what we do observe, gas will go omnidirectional dispersal, and it will fill the available space. You don't realize this, but listen, you are making a claim with your model, McToon. Okay, so you're actually effectively committing a shifting the burden of proof fallacy. You're making a claim contrary to naturally occurring observable phenomena and natural law, the second law of thermodynamics. You're making a claim contrary to that. Yet you have no physical evidence that it's even possible. It requires a reification of your model. So joke's on you.
You've asserted those things
because you can't substantiate your positive claim. You're acting like I'm making the positive claim.
Austin, your positive claim is the requirement of a physical container. That's your positive claim. Support it.
No. Your positive claim is that the Earth is a magic spinning cartoon ball brought to you by Jesuit priests with a pressurized system around it, convexly adhering based on the center of mass, warping space-time fabric, fucking gravity well, and that there's a pressurized system adjacent to it, and that nothing happens. Equilibrium is not sought. The second law of thermodynamics does not take place. Entropy does not increase because of this mystical force. However, whenever you talk about the force, it's not actually a force. It can just be interpreted as a force. It's the effect of the warping of space-time, and it's always strongest closest to the center of mass. So the closest we can get to the center of mass is the surface of Earth, right? But when we let gas out the surface, the closest to the center of mass, it goes in any and all directions. But you want us to believe much further away from the center of mass, miles and miles up, it turns back on and prevents the gas pressure from seeking equilibrium.
Wow. I mean, a lot of things are right there, but it seems that you don't understand them. I get it. I understand. I know that you don't understand these things.
Was his response.
So,
okay,
what's
I
that?
think I
What's
thoroughly
that, Jack?
dismantled and exposed you. So all I'm saying is,
What's
I know
that,
you're
Jack?
scared to debate QE, but don't.
Hold on.
I'm gonna
Austin,
leave now,
Jack
but-
is talking. Austin, Jack is talking. Shh.
Look, I know
Jack
you're
is
mad.
talking.
You're mad, bro. You mad, bro?
Austin,
There's a lot of comments about volume.
close the mouth, open the ears. Jack is talking.
My
Go ahead,
God,
Jack.
The chat, the live chat, there's a lot of comments about volume that you should fix.
All right. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, McToon. I just didn't really like. It doesn't really surprise me like when people misrepresent other people. I know, like you've done it to me
Yeah.
many times.
QE.
If you're scared
QE
to
was
debate
scared.
QE,
That's fine.
QE
So
would dismantle you,
trot
McToon.
along.
I'm not
Trot
even
along.
joking.
Move along.
No, but listen.
Move along,
I-
Austin.
I'm just
Move
saying.
along.
I would suggest.
Go.
If you want people
Out of
to
here.
kind of
Out of here,
respect
drunk
you,
boy.
keep your
Out of here,
gamma
drunk boy.
behavior to yourself and people's
Move
name
it.
out of your mouth. All right, peace.
Go ahead. QE scared.
later, Gamma.
Got it. Got
Later,
it.
Gamma. Don't know.
Go.
You can't sneak in your gamma comments at the end. QE's not scared of you, bro.
Go.
He would dismantle.
Go. He'd be here right now instead of you if he wasn't. So go. Move it
You're
along.
scared to go to the arena.
All right,
fairly
so
moderated.
here
You
we
need your
go.
Gamma boyfriend in here debating with you.
We've got Titanic Terrarium. Says take a shot on reification fallacy and begging the question fallacy. Don't do that. Alcohol poisoning is a real thing. Chris Hoffman, Witsit, terrible news. QE is too afraid to debate outside his con artist troupe. It's the same server run by some fallacious con men. Absolutely. Tim Pryor for $5 says 24-hour Discord deletes me for asking questions. Why the hell would anybody go on there? Exactly. I get people have unmuted me, but you ask questions, you present evidence, they mute. So no interest in there. They're not interested in a fair debate. Let me a few more, then Jack, then we'll get to you. P. Barnes for $5 says you have to understand what fallacious reasoning is before you could moderate it. That's why QE's offer is a waste of time. Absolutely. And then Craig Montgomery, $5. No message there. So whatever, if you want to say something, Craig, thank you very much for that. Tag me and I'll read it out to you. Let's see. Tim Pryor for $10 says, meanwhile, in the real world, where the majority of the population doesn't even know about flat earthers, nothing has changed, but keep role-playing on YouTube videos. It's funny. Oh, that's right. Sleepy Dan for $2 says, you called it MC2, no evidence from Dipwit. Absolutely. Claims without evidence is his thing, and I circled that right there. Claims without evidence. He loves, he'll just ramble, and never once is anything ever support it. And yeah, I tried to turn his volume down. I did. I kept turning it down, but he's a loudmouth, and so I can't adjust the volume between Jack and Austin.
I'm sorry, MC2, but you got served. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's funny. You're funny, Lemon. You're funny. Let's see. Tim Pryor for $5, but yet you can take cruises to Antarctica. What an idiot. Yes, you can. Now, I asked him specifically, where does it say that you cannot go to the Antarctic? He didn't have anything for that. So, Lemon, if you think I got served by him making a claim with no evidence, then I guess that is serving. But the rest of us define serving differently. Titanic Terrarium, there it says for $5 Singaporean dollars, says there are several major sailing ocean races, including Volvo and Vendée Globe, that circumnavigate the Antarctic every couple of years. Thousands of people. Yeah. So the claim, Lemon, like you've said, Cook's voyage or whatever around Antarctica is done all the time, regularly. So we don't need to go look at his old one. We can look at new ones. So Chris Hoffman.
Yeah, they go down, make a V and come back. They never go north, south, north in a continuous circumnavigation.
No.
North of launch, continuous
No,
on west,
we're talking
launch.
circumnavigate Antarctica. It happens regularly.
They do a V and
so
turn
if you
around,
want to know,
or they
if
stay
you
at a
want
certain
to know the
latitude and don't get
distance,
close.
no. You don't get it. You don't get to have varying standards of evidence for that. There, Lemon. Either you take somebody's word for it, or you completely reject it. But you don't get to pick the one that fits you, right? So, they go around Antarctica regularly, and the distance is not a question. It's known. So, Witsit, Chris Hoffman for $5. Witsit, can I independently verify there's a brain in your skull? CGI X-rays and MRIs don't count. I need to see it myself. Stringer News 1 for $2 says, do we need another Trump-Biden debate? Who's who? Hold on. Kang024 for 10 New Zealand dollars says, Twitwit, you are intellectually stunted and deluded. I have watched you be destroyed in so many debates. None of your arguments hold up. EQ mounts, sextants, angles to Polaris. Nothing works. So again, Kang024 says, Twitwit, the Earth's atmospheric pressure of 14 psi is not next to the vacuum of space. That is a thing. Cretan Bull for $5 Canadian says, what is it with flat earthers being so confidently arrogant in their stupidity? Absolutely. And then finally from Robert Williams for $4.99 says, I'm perma-banned from 24/7 after Ahmad said that he had a CS degree. I asked him for the method to swap values of two variables without using a third. I've used that in interviews. We interviewed, I was at a place and we interviewed a bunch of people that were at a company that was being closed, and we're like, some of these more technical people we might want to bring on. And we asked every one of them and nobody got it. Also, we hired none of them. Jack, what do you have to say?
Oh my god, I've never lost my composure before on one of your debates, but goddamn, I've never had a bigger case of weaponized autism except when I go on 4chan for memes. Ugh. Second law of thermodynamics, entropy will never decrease if you were to include the surrounding universe. What the fuck does that have to do with gas? He says that the gas is the high pressure gas must migrate to the lower pressure gas. That's not true. If there is some force that prevents the gas from doing so, even it will do so. His point about gas being closer to the center of mass of the Earth is just dumb. Like, I could also throw something in the air and it will also move away from the Earth, but eventually it's going to come back down. There's such a concept as escape velocity.
Yep. Robert Williams gave a different answer than I use. He says x equals x nor y for that equation. I do it with arithmetic. So, the claim. So Austin claims, he says, and it's same as Nathan Thompson and several others. He says the natural antecedent. Just an assertion. The natural antecedent to gas pressure is a physical container. For which he never provides evidence. He says it is part of the second law of thermodynamics, yet cannot show anywhere other than flat earthers saying it as a mantra that it is part of the second law of thermodynamics. So, Lemon, can you show where outside of flat earthers the this natural antecedent being a physical container?
Logically, that would be true because it would press ad infinitum until something stops the pressing and the progression.
Okay, so you don't.
So logically,
it would have been faster to just say no. Do you have? Can you falsify that a force could
the
do
thing
it.
is, you're talking about the force of gravity, but you haven't even proved gravity. You haven't proved the center of mass. You
No,
can't put
hold on a
space-time in
second.
jar.
Hold on a second.
It's a highly theoretical
Don't get
abstraction
ahead of yourself.
what is going on without
One step
proof
at a
of all
time,
the
Lemon.
parts.
Lemon, one step at a time. Could a force do it?
A force of a container could do it too.
No.
Either one
Could
could
a
do
force,
it, but most of the time we
absent,
can't see a force contain anything, so actually, no.
Austin,
We've never
hold
seen a
or not
force
Austin?
contain
Lemon,
anything, so
Lemon,
no.
hold on. Absent a physical container, can a force create gas pressure?
No. The only time that we've ever seen a force halfway contain something is with electrostatic repulsion, and that's repulsion. That's not containment. It can't go up to the barrier and be like, "Clink, I'm not going any further." That's containment.
I'm not asking for your lack of I'm not asking for you to talk about. So you say no. All right. So where is the? I guess you're going to have to somehow show evidence that it's not possible to have a force create a gas pressure. So how are you going to go through supporting that?
First of all, you would have to have a force in your hand that you can control to show containment. You cannot. The only thing that we've seen contain anything is a barrier, like a firmament barrier dome or something like that, to contain all this gas pressure.
Sorry, no. There's forces that we can show that do that.
Yet we've never seen a force contain anything. So what you're talking about is a theoretical abstraction with no relation to reality. Illogical.
Centrifugal force. Have you never put water in a bucket and spun it around? What's holding the water in when it's up?
The bucket.
No, but what's the force that's holding the water in?
The bucket.
The bucket isn't a force. Bucket is a physical object. What's the force?
The force is acting
keeping the
against
water in?
The bucket, which is containing the water. Without the bucket,
what's the force?
The water would fly off, even with
could you just
the
name?
force.
Could you just name the force, please?
The
Just
centrifugal force against the container of the bucket.
There you go. Okay, so centrifugal force can contain something. In this case, it's water,
You're
but
mad.
It can also
the bucket
contain
is there
gas.
containing the thing. You're mad. You know the bucket's there. You're trying to make it that a force can contain anything. Without the bucket there, it would fly off.
But when the water's this way,
you're mad.
When I'm mad, I'm not mad.
Yes.
When the water's up here,
the centrifugal force is not sufficient to contain the water. Without that bucket there, that hard containment, it would fly off, and you know it.
Yeah, but there's a force holding it in. There's a force. So a force can hold things in and create pressure. So we have one example of a force creating pressure, right? And so you could spin it faster and not have water in it, and the air inside of it, inside the bucket near the surface of the bucket, there would be higher than outside the bucket. So again, a force can create that pressure differential like that.
That would be sufficient for the water if it is in a basin going against the earth with gravity containing it, okay? But that would not be sufficient for the air. The air is not in a basin like the water and would not be contained without a container to keep it in. We're talking about an insufficient cause that is insufficient without a container.
So all right. So a force could not. It can act on water, but not on a gas. I guess is that what you're saying?
The gas would need to be in a container. Seas are covered by the basins at least slightly, assuming gravity can curve and contain, but the air would not be. So you're talking about an insufficient cause still. This is just theoretical.
Yeah. So there's a force, and it's creating this pressure differential. Lemon. That's the thing. I'm only saying there's a pressure differential. Lemon. There's a pressure.
It's insufficient.
There's a
unless you're saying that the earth is firmamentally contained, like going against that bucket. What you're saying does not have any sort of relation to what you're talking about.
So Stringer News 1 says, Lemon, MC Toon isn't mad. He's just disappointed. I am disappointed in you, Lemon. I thought you'd do better. So
I do not care. If you're saying stuff like this, good luck with you, sir. I'm sorry.
You know, we just do it for comedy, Lemon. Nobody takes you guys seriously. Just, I mark most of these as entertainment.
You're mad. You know full well that it needs a container, and you're trying to get me to go with this force crap.
There is a container. Absolutely. The container is necessary, and that container is a force. It is a force. So now I'm just trying for no reason at all. Just look at this. See that? I met Charlie Duke last week, and he signed this for me. So that's a picture of Charlie Duke on the moon. What do you think about that? That's pretty cool, isn't it? What do you think, Lemon? Lemon. Oh, he left.
Oh.
Jack, it's just you and me.
All right. Oh my god. I think a better way to put that would be that two forces that have equivalent vectors are indistinguishable from one another, even if they're from different sources. So a gravitational force, an electromagnetic force, whatever, as long as they're in the same direction at the same magnitude, they're indistinguishable from one another. So it doesn't matter what your force is, whether it be from a container or gravity, as long as you have something that prevents a gas from completely diffusing, then it's not just gonna float away, I guess.
It's all you need, yeah. And so he didn't want to accept that a force could create a pressure because he knew as soon as he accepted that it was a problem. So I guess that would be the thing. Fortunately or unfortunately, Austin was so loud and gregarious that nobody heard you, I think. So
nobody heard me say he's a walking chromosome disorder.
Oh yeah. Oh, I heard that one. That was a good one. I like that one. LemonBird, I don't know why you left. We were about to have. I was about to get. I mean, I'm no reason at all. I'm not playing bingo or anything, but Lemon, do you? What do you think about the moon landing? And what do you? Huh? You could write that. Nobody. This Rave Enlay is LemonBird. Don't time him out. And that's the thing. That is the real thing. They have to make up these different like fringy ideas, and they kind of try to wedge it in, right? So they try to wedge in that it violates the second law of thermodynamics, but it doesn't. It violates their desired understanding of it because they have to, because they have because flat Earth is a religion for uneducated science deniers, and they have to deny science and be uneducated, right? So and there are a couple that have gotten a little bit of education past, like maybe middle school, a couple, but they generally reject all of their education. So, is that gaslighting when he calls MC Toon mad? I think he's calling me like he's just suggesting that I'm crazy. Maybe is what he's using for mad, instead of like angry. What do you think, Jack?
I just can't with that guy. Just single-digit IQs are uninterpretable.
Yeah. So let's see.
I'm writing a quiz while I'm doing this.
You're writing a quiz? Nice.
Yeah, I'm still in physics.
Yeah, you're still taking classes. So I was listening. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I was painting the side of the house. I've been painting. Today I painted, even you see some paint here I didn't get scrubbed off. I was doing the second coat over on this side of the house here. And what do I listen to? I listened to a professor, a British professor, derive Einstein's field equation. Uh-huh. That was my listening while I was painting. So, I did not quite follow it. It was a little bit too much for me this first time. So
too much for me, yeah.
It was, but it was good to go through that and to see the process that Einstein went through to do these things. So I kind of followed along at a high level, but the actual, the math of it, of course, I wasn't even looking at the screen. My phone's on the ground and I'm up on the top of a ladder. So, Stephen Meyer for $5 has no message again. So if you want to say something, tag me and I'll read it out. So
I love how their argument is, oh, space is just deformed. I mean, that is the most superficial oversimplification we give to a layman, and they take it and run wild with it. I bet you if you ask them what a wormhole is, take a sheet of paper, bend it, and poke a hole through it with a pencil.
Yeah. Let's see. Tori Ingle says, how do flat earthers explain air pressure gradient not violating the second law of thermodynamics? Is sea level pressure spontaneously equalizing? That's the question I was trying to get to Austin, and he was deflecting like mad. Air pressure equalizes at the speed of sound. Sound is, when I'm talking, sound is a disequilibrium of pressure. That is what sound is. So, yes, all air pressure equalizes at the speed of sound. And if you really want to see that, go look at some of the videos from that explosion in Beirut, especially the ones that were far away and had the factory in it, and you can see the actual shock wave move and how fast it moves. That is the speed of sound. So if there is no force causing this disequilibrium, then the pressure must equalize, right? It would have to be 14.7 everywhere. Ground level, top of mountains, next to the firmament, if there is a firmament, as they say, or the dome or the container, right? It would have to be the same pressure everywhere, unless there's a force causing the disequilibrium, so that the equilibrium isn't a disequilibrium, right? It has to find this equilibrium. The second law of thermodynamics is going to come in there. It's going to get the equilibrium, which is high pressure where the force is the highest, and low pressure where the pressure is lower. So they have no answer for that, and that is the actual violation of the second law of thermodynamics. If there is no force and it's just a physical container, there would not be a gradient. And I know Austin says that the ground creates air, so that it's pressurized near the ground level and then it goes up. But that means that the firmament must be consuming air at the same rate. Number one. Number two, that it must be moving up at the speed of sound. So where is the 700 mile an hour upward wind from this air that's being created at ground level and flying up, equalizing itself with no force towards the firmament? Just saying it's dynamic doesn't cut it. You need to have a testable hypothesis. What is the rate at which it's being created? What's the rate at which it's being consumed? What's the process for that? Where's all of the different tests that would need to be conducted to confirm this? Nowhere. They just say it's dynamic. So, we're at 3 hours and some minutes here. So we got Quantum Degreaser says, MC Toon, Lemon deserves more respect than this. His Arave name has a period. It's not every day you meet someone whose name is its own sentence. Absolutely. Edison Carter, speed of sound in the selected media. Don't let them try and misquote you for other gases or liquids. Absolutely, yeah. And the speed of sound at lower pressure is different than the speed of sound at higher pressure. So it would slow down. I think it's slow down, right? Lower pressure, lower pressure has a lower speed of sound. So it would be less than 700 miles an hour at high altitude, I guess. But certainly down here, there would be the 700 mile an hour upward thing. So anyway, Jack, anything you got to say before we head out?
Sorry for the outburst. I'm sorry for myself for killing half my brain cells. God, back in, I think it was April, I asked Austin to debate, and thank God it never happened because I would be brain dead after that. But one of his conditions for me debating him, for him to agree to it, is that I first have to publicly announce that he owned you in his last debate with you, which it's kind of a weird requirement to have. I'll actually send you the screenshot if you're interested.
But well, Austin, yeah.
I'm having a discussion with this one wannabe physicist who thinks he's disproven conservation of angular momentum, and I'm gonna see if I can drag him on here because that would be a nice change of pace to Mark Steele and Austin.
that would be funny.
We've already debunked flat Earth more times than necessary. I think a little.
It's flat Earth is we do it because it's a joke. So let's see here. I got Austin. I got pictures of Austin. Poor guy. He likes to drink in public. No, let's see. He makes lots of claims, and he thinks he doesn't. Right? So, let's see. There's one there. Let's see. Trees from. Let's see. I'm looking for the. He's all sorts of insults all the time. But claims Earth. Oh my goodness, so many claims, and he thinks he hasn't like he doesn't make claims, but he's just a nonstop string of positive claims. All right, I gotta put these up. I have too many. I'm not gonna show his mugshot. He's got some mugshots. They're fantastic. Go look them up. So water seeks level. All observations show a flat Earth. Claim. The water is stationary plane. Claim. And very likely land has been hidden. At least he said very likely. Every single aspect of transportation utilizes a flat map. Wrong. Very much wrong. Easily shown to be wrong. Lots of positive claims there. And he says he doesn't make positive claims. P900 outpaced lie, and we can consistently, repeatedly disprove the current metrics of curvature with simple observations. No, he can't. All aircrafts operate under the base assumption the Earth is flat, non-rotating surface. No, they don't. Another claim. As do missiles. No, they don't. Another claim. I've literally read our own military document admitting as much, and I know mc2.net/govdocs, and I know what he's talking about there. No, he read the cherry-picked lines that other people have cherry-picked for him. The system negates gravity. Doesn't. Again, another claim. Simply, we see too far. Another claim. The impossibility of correlating sizes and speeds defies scientific number for impossibility over and over. Measurements of Earth has literally never been measured. Oh my gosh, another claim. And it's wrong. Yet the fact the Earth isn't moving, claim, has been tested. False. And observed hundreds of times. False. There's a start. mc2.net/spin has 13 measurements of the rotation of the Earth. So, oops, didn't mean to put that on. Ooh, this is a good one. He's constantly on Facebook saying that he's super smart. So, I'm clearly smarter than you. I have over 150 IQ. How about you? I mean, what a turd. What a turd. He's approached at 16 by the military for his aptitude in physics. No, they didn't. I know what I'm talking about. I've read Einstein's and Tesla's works, as well as Newton's. I clearly know an astronomical amount more than this. Oh, no. You know, the military approaches lots of people when they're 16, because recruiters get paid for bringing in people. Oh, oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, this is fantastic too. He used to work at an airport. Says, since you're so knowledgeable, this is some of David's Smover says, since you're so knowledgeable, tell me how do we achieve the principle of flight? Dispersion of density. There you go. That's how airplane engineers do things, apparently. They disperse density. So, all right, well then here is the final one. There it is. Jack, can you see that? I'll share it. I'll share it.
Okay, cool.
I'll share it to you. You don't have to worry. I'll get it. I got it. I got you. There it is. So.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I love that one. I took a screenshot of that one. So there it is.
Is that real or is this just a
that is real. It was on his story, so it went away. But there it is. I took it a minute after he said it. I believe that was in December last year. So there you go.
He's gone. He's either a Poe or he's gone further down the rabbit hole, and it doesn't matter which one. It's just
he's gone further. He got some attention from Bob Super Noodle Doodle, and yeah, he hasn't. He's definitely in the rabbit hole. So. Clive Wells, when I was listening to that guy derive Einstein's equations, Clive, I was thinking of you because sometimes I listen to your derivations while doing work around the house. Of course, it's difficult if I'm not looking at the screen, but it's nice to have some something going while I'm doing those things. So, all right, that's what I have tonight. Thank you, Jack. Thank you to Austin and Lemon also. And thank you to QE for not showing up. Kind of knew you wouldn't. And all he would have is insults, of course. So.
All right. Good night, man.
Yes.
I'm going to finish my quiz.
All right. Good luck on your quiz. I hope you smash it. We'll see you later, everybody. And let's see. Let me get that video. We'll see you later. Bye.